Rock and roll. What's up, everybody? It's Game Talk. I'm Gangster. I'm here with Brimstone,
What's up, guys?
my boy Blue,
Hello there.
and back for the first time, by popular demand, Rambo. What's good, brother?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, man?
How have you been?
And no, this is not a
Been doing
fraud.
good.
This is really Rambo here, you guys.
We had to-
Live and
Yeah.
direct for one night only.
We had to replace Rev
I
Tech.
hope not.
We had to replace Rev.
No, actually, since y'all are doing it on a what's it called?
Day
Since y'all are
shift.
doing it on a Sunday,
Yeah.
then I can actually do it. But I swear, man, I was coming the night that he put on there like a rare Rambo, sighting or whatever. And I was out
Right.
here, I had my headset ready, and I was in the garage. Just
I
waiting,
know,
and
we were
next thing you know,
talking
I
to you
woke
for
up-
like right up until the thing, and then when we went live, like I couldn't reach you, and it's like, fuck, man, he probably fell asleep. It was so
Yeah, I was
disappointing.
out, man. I was fucking out. I was like, I woke up at 8 o'clock in the garage, going, "What the hell?"
Fucking waking up in a spooning position on a sleeping bag on the ground with no pants.
In
You're
the
like,
garage.
how the fuck?
What happened?
Oh
There's
my
candles
God.
all around you. You're like, okay.
Pentagrams
Yeah,
on the ground.
Looking around for video cameras to make sure there was no evidence.
He had to like dump him in the
Jesus.
basement real quick.
Yeah, I keep Googling myself just to make sure it doesn't come up.
All right. So what is the first with the docket, Pete?
Oh, I guess Geforce now is losing all Blizzard Activision games for their streaming service.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
wow.
misunderstanding. I read one of the articles on the GX Opera, and they're saying that it was a misunderstanding. I'm like, how do you
What was-
misconstrued like a business proposition of publishing a game? What?
Yeah, what exactly was the misunderstanding of, what, pricing?
right? Yeah,
Well, yeah,
dude,
what's-
like
And if it was just a misunderstanding, then okay, then why haven't we heard an announcement that, oh, they're coming back, it's just, the contract changed or whatever.
right.
So are you saying that the Geforce experience, like that thing, you can't use your Blizzard games
No.
in there?
No, it's the,
You can't purchase them anymore or whatever.
yeah, well, no,
Oh.
it's the new streaming service by NVIDIA. They're
I
trying to
didn't even know
copy.
they had a new streaming service.
Yeah, I don't know if it's out, but it's coming out. It's been announced for quite a while.
Well, it's
And
in
they
beta
wanna-
right now, and a lot of people have got it. So
Yeah, so kind of, they were going after what was the Google one that's failing miserably? Stadia.
Stadia.
They're
Oh,
trying. Yeah, they're
Stadia,
trying
yeah.
to do the Stadia. But I mean, I think it's hilarious that somehow they got a misunderstanding over one of their biggest publishers. That does not bode well
That's a huge
for
misunderstanding.
right? Yeah, Activision Blizzard, dude. No Call of Duty, no fucking StarCraft, any of that shit. Like, man.
Well, you can cancel that, man. Like, Call of Duty is like one of the most popular games.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Overwatch, yeah.
Yeah. You're toast, man. You're toast.
Yeah,
like,
they're not off to a good start.
no. That's
I mean,
not
I
gonna
can't say
end
they're that
well.
much worse than Google right now.
Well, yeah, what
Stadia's
Google lost
already
its.
gone-
Yeah.
Stadia's already gone free to play.
I mean, they were losing players like mad. Fucking, they had what? How many? Six games at launch or something. The only big one they had was Destiny 2. And
Even
like,
then, like,
even
you can't
and even
really
on
do
that
it.
game, yeah, like I think the numbers last time I saw them, it was like, 10,000 people maybe were playing Destiny 2
And
on
that's
fucking.
dead. That's dead for Destiny.
Come to
that's late.
bitches! Ah!
And it's like kind of because I've played with Stadia and it's like
Nice.
I don't see
How many
streaming
did I get?
service like
5.
Ah!
like we've talked about
It
streaming.
wasn't
Nope,
even-
6.
but-
Oh, did you get all 6?
I did. I got her right
You
then.
just got
but
it,
it,
okay.
but not in time for a team kill though.
Yeah, but
It-
I don't see streaming services being anything like worthwhile. 'Cause
No,
I've played
certainly
on-
not. Certainly
I
not
think
now.
I think honestly, you're gonna have to have a PlayStation and Xbox start the streaming service.
Probably.
Maybe.
Well, yeah,
Don't-
like
don't get me wrong. I mean, I know PC is big, but as far as like to get the industry to go that direction, it seems like the industry follows the consoles. And then, I mean, of course, PC does their own thing or whatever, but for the streaming service to be popular, I think the consoles are going to have to switch to that.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
I don't see it even really high for consoles too, like streaming
Well, no,
services.
I'll tell you, dude, because I think the most popular streaming service to date is PlayStation Now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and here's the thing, it's the perfect thing for it, right? Because with PlayStation Now, you can do all of the PS1, 2, and 3 games that you need to emulate. That's all easy to do on. It's a lot easier to do on what the fuck do they call those big servers? The streaming, the ones that process the actual games. So I can't remember. That kind of computing, right? That kind of computing is perfect for that kind of work, because emulation on local shit sucks just as much as emulation on anything else for most stuff. Fuck. And for all those old games, like, people aren't going to care if they perform or the latency isn't absolutely perfect, because they're doing it for either nostalgia or, you know.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so it's not like
that's the only reason you're playing those old games like that.
Yeah, you know, you're not playing competitive first-person gaming on those PS3 or PS2 games, so it's not like the latency matters, you know, at all. And
I mean,
it's like,
there is
that would
also
be
some latency,
the avenue.
though. I mean, there is latency even on those old consoles.
No, but
like,
it doesn't matter, though. It's like, what do you care if you've got, you know, 50 or 100 milliseconds of controller lag when you're playing, like, an old JRPG or something like that?
Yeah, you know.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna bother some people, but it's not like it's gonna bother them like it would if they're playing Destiny.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's a very important one, and plus you're playing a more current gen game at that point.
Yeah, it's, you know, that a streaming service is perfect for trying to bring back all those old classics without having to do complicated ass emulation software. The problem is, every console, every, you know, PC, they all need their own specific emulation software, right? But with the streaming stuff, it's one big computer, so you only need one emulation platform to deal with all of it. And like I said, it's all nostalgia like games and shit, so it's not like people care about the drawbacks of streaming. Like, yeah, if I was Sony, I'd be diving headfirst into PlayStation Now and using it to, because that's what people have been asking for. They want PS3 games, they want PS2 stuff.
Can't y'all on PC download your download your PS4 titles, or is it just on PlayStation?
It's on PlayStation at the moment.
Oh, okay. That's
But
like
Sony's opening up to
probably
the
coming.
market, so now, like, they're starting to open up now.
Yeah, they said they wanted to
there's-
release their own Steam, you know, version for PC and sell
See,
Sony
if they did
exclusives
that-
on it.
If they did that, that's the only thing really keeping me on, like PlayStation, is their exclusives and my trophies, of course. But if they launched their own thing, I guarantee they would take trophies with them.
I mean,
I
it
would
depends,
think.
because some people
And I
just
think-
like...
I think it would work out for them too, because as we all know, the hardware is not what makes them the money in this business. They take loss on
Oh, God, no.
consoles forever, and then even when they start becoming, you know, somewhat profitable, they're still not making very much. It's
Yeah,
minimal compared to.
I think they just became profitable. Like they launched in November 2013. I think they became profitable like in January, February of 2015.
Yeah, so streaming
And
or
it was
you know,
only
not-
it was very a minimal profit. So I mean, it actually works out better for them to do it like they're doing it.
yeah, because you get the same profit margin for the games without the hardware cost. It's like you don't have to lock people. I hate it because it's exclusives, but at least it's exclusives to one platform versus hardware plastic box. Like,
yeah, and the thing is, if they actually launched a store like Steam just for their exclusives, it would make a ton of money.
oh,
Like,
dude,
it,
it'd be fucking huge. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
all
don't know
down
why they
for
haven't
this.
done. I don't know why they haven't done this yet, but you know.
I mean, it's probably gonna happen because they see Microsoft's expanding their market reach,
Yeah,
and
of
they'll be
course.
potentially making more
Well,
money.
Sony,
so.
I mean, Sony's killing it on PC right now, though, right? Like, Neo, one of the best-selling games on Steam for, like, the longest.
And you got
So,
they're
I
releasing
mean-
Death Stranding and Horizon, so
I just hope they don't go after the same like avenue that everybody else has gone after with the Epic Store.
oh jeez. I mean, I don't think they will do the whole app, maybe, because it's really weird because I just see the numbers, but like the games that go on Epic don't sell all that well. Like that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I just bought Metro Exodus on Steam, which, by the way, I believe it launched 2 days ago on Steam, and it is still on sale for one more day, I believe. You can get the gold edition for $40 or the original edition for 20 something, 23 or 24.
I'm thinking about just doing the original because I don't think I'll be playing it like that, you know.
I just got the gold just because fuck it, you know.
I only spent $30. I only interested in that.
Ah, damn it.
I had no interest in like getting like beyond that because I don't know if I'll get invested in Exodus. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love the franchise. You know, I'll play the shit out of it, and I want it. That's the thing. I had to buy it because I have to prove to them that that their games will sell better on Steam than doing these stupid Epic exclusive deals. Because I hate that shit.
That's why I want to buy the $20 one. Yeah, like I mean,
the only game I probably won't do that with is with Borderlands because I already played like 3 and didn't like it. But it's like I have a personal dislike for Randy Pitchford that just goes beyond normal means. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm no way in hell I'm buying Borderlands 3 on Steam. I don't care.
Yeah. What's up, Blizz 8? Blaze? I don't know.
Blaze, what's up, dude?
Jeez, it's like a family reunion all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Man. Rambo brings all the girls to the yard.
That's a crazy shit.
That would be. I mean, what he's saying there is like that would be interesting if they worked with Switch as well.
Sure.
It really blows my mind that Switch and Xbox actually work together.
I know, right?
Right? Yeah, Wolfenstein.
We talked about that. I'm like, yo, Xbox is bringing down those walls, dog. Like Microsoft's actually like shaking hands with a lot of people, and they're trying to help a lot of people too. They're not just trying to make money.
And that's the crazy. You see everybody online talking about it's all about platform sales, and I'm like, man, you don't really realize where the money's at then, because
right,
the money is
it's all software.
Yeah. They could seriously do away with the PlayStation and just launch nothing but on PC and on Xbox and still make all their money.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of PlayStation canceling services, Rambo, I've been dying to talk to you about this.
What's that?
You know that cable service that you bought into?
Oh, yeah, PlayStation View.
What happened, bro?
Netflix and Hulu.
Really?
I don't think anybody's going to be able to compete with Netflix and Hulu.
Disney?
Amazon.
And yeah, Amazon
Disney,
will.
I don't even think.
No, I don't think Disney will either. But Amazon will. Amazon's good, man. I really like Amazon. I hate Amazon, but Amazon Prime's the best service.
Yeah, I watched some of their Amazon Prime originals.
Yeah, they got the best original stuff. They've got the best selection by far, and everything it rotates. It's what Netflix used to be, you know.
Good shows. I know, right? Imagine.
And good like Hollywood movies. You know, that's the thing. Netflix has dropped all of their third-party content, and it sucks because it's like I'm sorry, but just Netflix stuff isn't enough to keep me on Netflix.
No, they used to have really good originals, and then like they kind of went downhill for them.
They flood the market with a bunch of mediocre bad ones. So
pretty much, you know.
I mean, because what happened, they had like the golden goose for a little bit, and then they flooded the market with a bunch of mediocre and shit like series. I don't want to say shit because Brent's gonna tell me actually this series is actually really good. You're wrong.
Yeah, absolutely I would because I like indie films and I like the idea that Netflix is like encouraging people to make more series, even if they're professionals or not. They're getting people in the market, and that's what matters.
Well,
we need more fucking videographers out there making shit. Yeah, dude, I'm down with it.
There is some good content on Netflix. The problem is that Netflix, like the indie developers that are getting on there are getting way too political.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me is it's hard to support and watch the show whenever it's just inundated with like propaganda from either side. I just can't. I don't like either. Like I don't like it. You're supposed to let the user walk away thinking.
You're watching.
Not tell the user what to think.
It's like you spend time watching a show and then like you have like a Trump rant in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, wait, what just happened?
Exactly.
I mean, that's because I see like sometimes my mom watches and she like whenever she watches her dumb little sitcoms because you know she's a bit of an old man. that there's like these Trump rants in the middle there, and I'm like, Mom, how do you watch this? And she's like, I don't really know. Because it's flooded sitcoms, by the way, like all these like Trump rants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like TV's all become redundant now. I mean, it's like we get it. Orange Man's bad, Tiny Hands. You know, just same thing over and over again.
But you know what? There was a series that on Netflix that they had that they didn't get political. They just let shit be natural, and it was a fun series, and that was Sense8. Sense8 to me was a really good series. They didn't go and be like, "Oh, Donald Trump's a bastard," or you know, you have to accept me because I'm gay. Like, they just let shit be, and they actually like portrayed how people live their lives naturally. They don't make everything political, you know.
I have that in my watch list because that actually looked like a decent one.
It is. It's really good.
I'm gonna have to give it a watch then.
But I think that's why though is why
I mean,
get the views it deserved, because it didn't get political. So all the people were like, you know, wanting something political, they didn't get it. So they didn't support it.
People really want like a political thing though, because like a lot of these political stuff just doesn't go well. Like
It's
you saw what
mainly
happened
just
in Birds
Twitter
of
that wants
Prey.
political shit.
Like you saw what happened in Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey got murdered in the box office. Like that wasn't even murder, it was manslaughter.
Misogyny, man. Misogyny.
No, but it's like you have Sonic, a movie that like it's a video game movie that's really funny and goofy, and it does like already better. And it's like, yeah.
Detective Pikachu did really well too, and it was fun.
Yep.
Like, I love that movie.
What's crazy is that I saw somebody comparing like the budget of that Brad Pitt movie that like not too long ago that
Once Upon a Time in
no,
Hollywood.
not the Brad Pitt one, the one where the racing car one.
Oh,
Ford
Ford
versus
versus
Ferrari.
Ferrari. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, they compared that budget to Birds of Prey's budget, which is like they were very comparable, and then they compared the opening weekend, which was like only a couple of million off, and the write-up of Ford versus Ferrari was like it smashes the box office, and the write-up on Birds of Prey was like it was a disappointing opening.
Yeah.
And they were like, obviously it's because it's women. I was like, no, you dumbass. Whenever you have one movie that's projected to only make 20 million and makes 35 million, that's a smash. But if you have one that's projected to make 100 million and it only
And it
makes
makes
33
10.
million, that's a problem.
Yeah, when Star
Yeah,
Wars
doesn't help.
Star Wars only made like what $2 billion in the first like week or two or something like that, and it was
Yeah.
that was a disappointment for Star Wars. That would have been like the biggest thing ever if it was fucking, you know, Ford versus Ferrari or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's proportional to the type of movie it is.
Yeah, it's because Star Wars should make $2 billion in like the opening weekend. You know, it shouldn't take 2 weeks. Yeah, it's the
And also,
scale. You
Ford
gotta
versus Ferrari is a good
compare a
movie.
scale.
Like
It
there
was
is that.
Damn good movie, dude. Ooh, I'm a huge car guy and I love car movies, and that's a good fucking car movie. So
It is a good one?
oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and Christian Bale and
I
fucking Matt Damon are fucking hilarious together, dude. They're so good.
I need to see this then. It's called Ford versus
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Yeah, it's the actual
it's
story
fucking
of how Carroll Shelby teamed up with Ford to create a car to beat Ferrari in the Le Mans 24-hour Le Mans race.
It's basically where the Shelby Mustang actually became formed actually.
The Shelby Mustang and the actual car they made was the Ford GT50 or whatever they called it, which is now the GT 500 or whatever. But it's the Ford supercar. That's how that car actually came to be, because they were trying to beat Ferrari, which had kept. I mean, how Ferrari had dominated the Le Mans for like 20 years or something silly like that.
Forever.
Yeah,
It was insane.
and you know, Ford wanted to reinvent themselves as not just making like economy shit boxes and shit like that. So they went to so Shelby. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like they didn't have good cars, but it's not like a Mustang had ever won at Le Mans or anything like that. So, you know, it's understandable. It's like, yeah, we want to put one up on the boards to show that, no, we really make, you know, real cars. And as much as I hate Ford, it's not like they aren't good cars. But, yeah, it's an interesting story. Great actors, you know, great drama, and the racing scenes are just fucking top notch, man. Oh, sound effects and the visuals, like, they're perfect, man.
And also, doesn't help that
if most people stay off of Twitter, then you'll actually probably enjoy most of the movies out there.
Right?
But
yeah, and you like that's
Twitter
all
is
Twitter
what's
is
politicized
outgoing.
everything.
You can see with South Park,
Yeah.
by the way, where like they'll shun South Park because they'll say like South Park is a terrible show because it makes fun of people for caring. It's like, oh, what? I don't think you have watched South Park.
No. There was just a new thing about South Park too, where somebody was slamming it for I don't know whatever.
It was a
new
writer
episode.
saying that it was but it made a whole generation of boys feel bad for caring. It's like, no, it makes people feel bad who pretend to care.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That was the whole premise of South Park.
it's like,
Yeah, the irony on people is lost with South Park. Like they just do not understand that show at all. It's kind of like
It's
GTA. When they slam GTA for being
Or Duke Nukem, man.
racist or whatever, it's like you don't quite understand. You don't understand the damn game. Like, yeah, Duke Nukem as well. There's no way in hell Duke Nukem could be made today.
Oh no
No,
way,
he's-
dude. And yet it's exactly what this industry needs would be a good Duke Nukem
Yes.
game, man.
just
Just to
just
stick it to
really
people and
shitty
just to shut
80s
people up.
one-liners. Yeah, but I mean that's the whole thing. Like I think because the problem is South Park is now making fun of Twitter people a lot, and these people on Twitter, like I don't even mean, but like they're just not self-aware. So like the idea that someone's making fun of them is like doesn't like go over the head, you can say. So that's why they don't like South Park, and why South Park's probably the only most popular show on Comedy Central now, right? Is on there, or where is it on South Park? Right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, most definitely. That's the most popular one on
Yeah, it's
Comedy
still
Central.
barely on Comedy Central. Like it's kind of surprising me that they haven't gotten booted off there yet or canceled or whatever. But
It's the only I think it's the only piece of like good comedy left on TV. I'll say that much.
yeah, I mean, not wrong.
Yeah, it's... Alright. You hear all the shit with Huawei, by the way, Brim? Because I know you might be interested in this one.
What is it?
The federal government charged Huawei with having backdoors that lead with the Chinese government.
Shit.
I mean, they're not wrong. Like, they have every right to be that way. But,
And
like, I mean, it's not like these guys are actually using this information, but that's not the point, you know? Like, I like Huawei. I like their product. I think they have a great, great manufacturing process where they actually care about their fucking product, but... You know what I mean? Like they're not the typical, Chinese standard where they just make it cheaply, and they don't give you any support for it. You know what I mean? But fuck it, dude. Like, I mean, I really don't have much to say about it, really.
Yeah, but I would feel very uncomfortable if, like, Canada, for example, is using Huawei 5G networks.
Right. No, I agree.
That's like how things work in China. If China was like America, then I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be like, oh no, thinking of the children, not thinking of the children, but like, oh no, worried about it. But like how Huawei operates and how things in China operate, I'd be worried as fuck
You widow.
about all this.
Yeah. It's unfortunate too because Huawei would be a great competitor to like Samsung and Apple because they make amazing
Yeah.
phones spec wise. But yeah, it's just like I'd never trust a Huawei phone. Like I don't know how any business person does because we know that they steal corporate secrets and shit from American and,
Oh, yeah.
and
And
European
trade
companies.
secrets. That
Yeah,
was the story.
all the time. There's no laws regarding copyright protection or intellectual property or
In China, there's no
Yeah,
laws
yeah.
around that.
so. It's like it's unfortunate, like I said, because fuck. Yeah. Anyway, fuck. Too wrapped up in the game.
No, that's just,
But
anyone got anything big that happened this week?
This week? I don't know about this week, but shit. What were we talking about just a bit
the
ago?
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet, yes.
Yeah.
So developers of Media Molecule are supporting Trixel and creating a Little Big Planet for PC called Restitched. And then Sony, came forward and was like, okay, yeah, we're not letting you do this. Which is fine. It's their right? But like, now because of that, like they're gonna kind of create their own game, which is gonna be like Little Big Planet inspired, I guess. And that's fine. Like I think that's great. Like I love Little Big Planet. That's like one of my favorite all-time Sony games. So like, yeah, bring it. I'm down.
Right. Yeah, and actually the original creators of Little Big Planet are trying to save the fan-made PC game.
Yeah, Mini Molecules, like they really want them to do it.
So that'll be cool. Like, because apparently there's a huge following for Little Big Planet. And what was it? The only Little Big Planet you can still play is Little Big Planet 3 on PS3, I think. But it wasn't made by the original creators, and apparently it's full of bugs. Like there's huge problems with like data corruption, losing the created content and shit like that. And so
and the frames are terrible.
Yeah, it's all around just bad news. And so players who want Little Big Planet content, because like I said, it's got a huge following, have been asking for something for a long time. And man, it's like, Sony, Jesus, go to these fucking people, offer them fucking some money. They've already done probably 90% of the work, because apparently it was pretty far in development. Give them a little money, launch the game on both PC, and you could probably easily port it to PS4 or PS5. Get on this, guys. But just like Blizzard, like they don't want anybody else to. They want it all in house.
It's like, man, it's like sometimes they avoid money, like Nintendo avoids money.
Well, we saw this. Like this is exactly what happened with Dota 2, and it's the reason that Blizzard. The changes to the terms of service or whatever you want, the agreement for the map editor on Warcraft 3 Reforged, where they specify that all created content is the property of Blizzard in its entirety. And it's like, yeah, you just don't want to lose out on another Dota 2 because you guys were too dumb to actually, go to the people who made it and say, hey, how about we pay you some money and you guys make this game for us, or with our help or whatever, and let's do something with it. But they didn't want to. Because they're idiots, and fucking Steam did, and now it's literally the biggest esport title ever, or not ever, yeah, because I think League of Legends beats it out, but certainly the biggest prize pool ever for an esports title. I know that was true. So it's up there. Like, you guys fucked up, and you fucked up hard. Although I'm kind of actually glad that they fucked up, because Blizzard probably would have tried to do Dota 2 esports like they're doing Overwatch esports, and I hate how Overwatch esports is being done. So, maybe it was for the better that Blizzard screwed the pooch. But, that's just my crazy musings. Oh, fuck.
I mean, Blizzard is screwing the pooch right now.
As far as like the Little Big Planet, I think you'll start to see more. Like, it seems like Sony's opening up more and more to the idea of PC.
I really hope so.
I think you'll start to see more and more pop out, like games like that, or even I've seen somebody do like a fake mock-up of like a PC store, and it seems like either they got the images somewhere or they made it themselves. I'm not really sure, but it seems like there's actually a chance of them actually bringing a store to the PlayStation platform. Yeah. Or to the PC platform.
I wish they would, because there's a lot of games that I would like Bloodborne, man. I'd love to play Bloodborne, but I'm just not going to buy a PS4 to do it.
Well, that's an expensive. I mean, if you're looking just to play that one game, that's like what, $550 just to play one game. So yeah, that's quite a bit to play one game.
And it's not like there's a whole lot of other titles, like because that's the thing. Most of the other games I can get on PC. The only ones I can't are the PS4 only exclusives, and of those, there's just not that many I want to play. So it's like, you're not going to get my money for hardware, Sony. It's like, I've got a perfectly good box to play my games on, so why don't you just offer them on this one? But hopefully it happens, and it happens soon. And it's looking like it will. It's just a matter of it's going to happen. They've already been talking about it. Now it's probably just a matter of time at this point. The problem is, it's like, how much time, But
I think they honestly I think they have to at this point.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, with the way everything's going, or with the way everything's out there, and the way everything's going towards PC, I think they're gonna have to. No
Well, we
matter
kind
what.
of
Interesting
ran.
enough, Microsoft was playing the long game the whole time, guys.
But yeah, the only problem was is that since they did they like all the games releasing day in and day out on Game Pass or whatever, it's kind of dropped the quality of what their games were. And that's the sad part about it, because I mean they had pretty good games like before that, and then all of a
That
sudden
is-
like it seems like it's dropped some of the quality.
I agree, but like at least their old great games are gonna be available for everybody to play, and that's kind of what matters.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that.
And that's
I
mostly.
just wish they would have kept
Go ahead.
the exclusives. I wish they would have funded the exclusives, like the new ones, to be sold separately, maybe at a discount for Game Pass subscribers. But then, going forward, like put them on there, a few months later down the road, so that way they put the money behind it. Because it seems like I don't know, the quality of their games have just kind of dropped here lately. The new ones.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
they haven't
like,
really released much other than Forza and.
No,
Yeah,
not
I think-
really.
Yeah,
I
so
think the Gears 5 actually wasn't even that great either. But apparently that guy was on his way out too. What's his name? So I mean, I don't think he really cared, that Rod guy or whatever.
Ron Ferguson.
Yeah, Ron Ferguson. Yeah, he went over to, I want to say Blizzard.
Yeah, he did. He went over to
Yeah,
Blizzard, and I think another Microsoft exec went.
Yeah, yeah. What's his name? Mike Ybarra.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But
that's
I
right.
think-
Yeah. I saw his Twitter post
Yeah.
about it.
I think that I think they were. I mean, well, Rod I think was on his way out, like or negotiating his way out during Gears 5, production and release. So I think that's probably what affected that game more so than I guess just the Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean maybe. It's just, I think they're all moving to the market, like digital market, because there's just more money there than.
Yo,
than
well,
what they
look at it
have
this
in
way.
there.
Well, and that's a good thing for me. Like, more digital market means more games for us to play on all platforms.
Yeah.
Like, if you only own an Xbox, perfect. If you only own a PlayStation, for instance, perfect. Like, everybody's gonna be able to play these fucking
PC,
games, and that's
perfect.
all I care about.
Switch, perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, like do it. Everything
I've
on
seen that.
everything.
I
Yo.
think
The only
I
company
mean-
that. The only company I can see not maybe going this right away is Nintendo, but that's because Nintendo just, I don't know, they just avoid money but somehow make money. It's kind of weird.
They've got the most popular. Oh damn it! They've got the most popular first party IPs, and they have.
Everybody grew up with them.
Yeah, they've got the nostalgia. They've got a lot of things going
Quality.
for them. So they have staved off the destructive elements of.
Their business practices.
Yeah, the console market, the trying to lock in, locking
also
people into an ecosystem because of that. But they're gonna suffer it just like everybody. It's just gonna take time.
It's
Well,
not
I
a
mean,
win,
you can see they're I guess loosening up though, because I mean they're
Oh, yeah.
allowing Xbox on there. So I mean, yeah, it's a matter of time before they join the party too.
Yeah, even they are starting to get it. It's like, yeah, you guys are leaving money on the table.
I'm thinking
That-
eventually, after like the PS5 and Xbox Series X, I think that you're gonna see all three companies come together and just put all their games on one platform. And
I don't know
just
about
see-
all one platform, but
Well, I mean, there's no point. There's really no point in buying a Switch, like, well, I mean, we'll just say Switch 2 or whatever, to play all these games or whatever, because it's
Yeah,
like,
sure, I see that.
What's going to differentiate them?
Oh.
They all do the same thing.
I think Nintendo would probably still do it because they like to do like new hardware and all that stuff more.
They might do that. They might do the handheld one. Like they might.
Yeah,
be the
Sony
one
too.
that,
And then that should be it, man. That if I was at their board, like 10 years ago, I would have said, like, man, we should be going away from the actual console market. We should be concentrating on the software and portable markets, because that's where their kind of hardware shines. Because here's one of the big things with console versus PC that's happened over the last decade or so is the gap between consoles and PCs has widened to such a degree. Back in the PS1 days, even if you had a top of the line PC gaming machine that was like 6 Gs or some stupid shit like that, dual fucking, I can't remember the name of the part, the dual Pentium 2s or whatever it was, those $1,500 boards and shit. Like, you were playing Counter-Strike at 10x, 75 frames a second instead of 60, and it's not like console games were much worse than that. But now it's like, you play Destiny 2 and you can barely get 30 frames per second steady on a console, whereas on a PC I'm screaming at 140 with better graphics. That's a hard pill to swallow as long as you're not averse to using a PC,
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah, it's I think now is the time for them to start thinking, yeah, we should transfer to pretty much software only and maybe just hardware for the portables and stuff, because that's the big thing. It's like there's no PC equivalent of a portable. Phones are kind of, they're as close as you're gonna get, but it's not the same thing. Phones are not a dedicated game. Even the Razer phone, it's not a Switch, or a Vita or something, and people do God, the popularity of the PSP, the 3DS.
And mainly Nintendo, because Vita
no. That's why I said the PSP, not the Vita. Or did I say Vita?
No, I think you said PSP.
You said PSP. I think
yeah.
The Vita, they basically killed the Vita.
Yeah. The Vita just wasn't all that popular, but the PSP was, and then so the 3DS is still the biggest one, I believe. But even Game Boy Advance and all that, people like portable consoles, and there's just not that. I mean, even the Switch, it's only barely a portable console. I mean, it's not a Game Boy Advance or a 3DS or something that you can just throw in your pocket. Even the mini one.
I mean, you're gonna have to get it better with the streaming portion of it, because of the fact that, I mean, people want to play these bigger games on the go. They don't want to play. They also don't want to play in shit resolution either, like a 480p or whatever, or 360p.
I think
that's the hard part.
You know what? I think this is where I think Microsoft finally woke up to the idea that maybe their cloud service for rendering was bullshit, and that xCloud for what they're doing for all the platforms is a better choice.
Yeah,
because right now they're Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, they said PlayStation they've actually partnered with PlayStation to allow them to use xCloud as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think is great.
Really awesome.
And in fact, they're even going a step further and showing PlayStation how to utilize their Gaikai servers, which I thought was pretty fucking cool. I was like, hey, that's actually kind of fucking definitely in the realm of putting the best foot forward in a business aspect of things. You know what I mean? Because before, you remember PlayStation Now, unless you had a good fucking internet speed, you were lucky to get a steady maybe 35, 40 frames, even though they advertised 60.
Oh, yeah.
So, when I see that just instills more hope for me in the future for gaming in general. Because I like seeing people progressing forward, not regressing. And that's, and I feel like we had to regress during the last, 10 years in order to get this far. Because before it was slit throat, all these companies were at each other, it was pretty bad. But now everybody was like, okay, you know what? Maybe we need to stop this bullshit. Maybe we should start making more money amongst each other. So I think that's a really good thing. So
yeah, I mean, I think that now that they got the right people in charge of the actual operations, seeing that software sales is where the money's at, then. Maybe that now that they're starting to work together, they can actually come up with something, I guess, decent for everybody, but still compete to a degree, but still work together to benefit everybody.
Yeah. Well, and
if you put all their minds together, you'd have one hell of a console.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, the new one's coming out. I'm really liking. By the way, Blue Brem, you guys ready for another round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Finish what you're saying first before you stop there.
I really like how this current generation, I mean, they're basically computers. It's desktop hardware. It's good. It's beyond, it's top end mid-range desktop hardware. because the GPUs are Navi chips and they're doing like 12 and 14 12 or 15, 12 and 15 I think terahertz or teraflops, excuse me.
Teraflops, yeah.
With an 8-core Ryzen chip, 8-core 16-thread.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. It's 6-core or 8-core.
Yeah, it's an 8-core. It's
8-core. Yeah, and it's pretty powerful too. So like, man, that's a huge. But God, comparing that to the not Bulldozer. What the fuck are the current gen consoles using? Jesus, man, I'm too old and I'm smoking way too much pot.
Jaguar.
Right.
Jaguar, thank you. I just remembered it too. Jaguar.
I think 6 and
Entirely too much
yeah,
weed.
Jaguar is 6.4 or 6 teraflops and 4.8, I think.
Yeah, which
So
I mean, yeah, like
it's decent, but not.
It's nothing to write home about. And the thing is it's not like it's desktop quality, right? Because Jaguar is so far below even Bulldozer, and Bulldozer's not that great. You know what I mean? So it's like the upgrade from the upgrade from that to Ryzen is amazing. Like that's going to be a huge difference. So and then
I mean this like last gen to this gen really wasn't that big. To me, it wasn't that big of a leap, at least in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because like the ending of PS3 to the beginning of PS4 was kind of like why did I buy it?
Right.
But if you go, I think that now you're going to see like the end of PS4 to go into the PS5 or Series X or whatever. You're going to see a huge jump because of the actual upgrades to the CPU.
Yes.
Because that was where the problem was, is they kept
bumping the
cheap
GPU up,
CPU.
and bumping the GPU up to it's not top tier, but it's like that's high end mid range, 12 and 15 teraflops. Like that's more than what you could get on a 580, and it's on Navi. Yeah, so that'll be great. Like I'm really glad to see consoles go there.
It's gonna be a damn good system.
Yeah, and not only that, it is desktop hardware.
I saw the Series X.
Go ahead.
Oh no! When I saw the Series X, I was thinking they were gonna do like an Xbox PC type thing.
Right.
Because it looks like a tower.
Yeah.
So my thought was they were gonna like make it to where you could actually upgrade it. Because I mean that's what it seems like to me. It looks like an actual PC.
I love that tower though. I love the way it looks, dude. I was like, yo. Like I could sport that. I'd be able to sport that, yeah. Cause I like what Pete.
Crazy.
And then isn't that like reminiscent to the new Corsair towers that launched?
Yeah, kinda.
If I remember correctly,
just a lot smaller, yeah. But I mean, hey, that's kind of the whole point of consoles. You know, it's when you don't want a PC, you just want a box that you can plug into your TV and play games on. It's like, yeah, there you go. That looks like the perfect thing for that. And it's got great hardware, and even better, like I said, the hardware is desktop parts. I mean, it's not literally desktop chips that you could buy, but it is the same exact silicon, the same exact architecture, the same exact everything. So, the ease of coding for gaming is going to get so much easier because now you're not having to develop for two separate systems anymore.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to win with this new generation of consoles, I think. Not to mention, because they're getting so much closer to what like a mid-range PC can do, that like there's been several developers that have plainly stated that hey, yeah, we wanted to do more with like I think the big ones were Fallout and Skyrim or Oblivion, where developers said like yeah, we wanted to do more, but we were kind of limited by the console technology because we wanted to launch on both platform or all three platforms. And so now with them being a lot closer, they'll,
Well, it's not going to hurt the PC ports at all either.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I mean, the PC port is going to be basically from a mid-range position on up, rather than the low range like where it was.
Right. Yeah. So that'll be awesome. I have high hopes for what's going to happen to gaming within this generation, so long as the software side drops a little of its bullshit.
I just hope we can get past this political bullshit that all these developers and stuff are getting into, because I mean, I feel like that's actually ruining a lot of AAA games. Is all these developers on Twitter, because they're getting into their echo chambers and they're thinking, oh, this is what everybody wants, but it's really not. Like that, It's just what a very small portion of your audience really wants it. Most people don't want to just play it and escape the damn world, not hear one way or
Talking
the
about
other,
who's gonna be president, who's Nancy Pelosi. Like nobody wants to hear about that when they're gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
My favorite part about that is
I actually quit following a lot of like Sony developers because I was like, I can't deal with y'all's politics. I was like, I want to hear about y'all's games and your progress and stuff like that. I don't want to hear about Orange Man bad or impeach this. I'm just like, leave it alone. Like I just want to deal with gaming.
Yep.
That'd be nice if they did that. I mean, you're kind of
I think
seeing
it's
that happen
eventually
to
going to
BioWare.
eat itself. It's eventually going to eat itself. So
I mean, look what happened to BioWare. BioWare literally
it killed it. Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because now you have like the top devs right now. You got like Blizzard has fallen, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like,
And EA's
Like,
doing the right thing. Like, dude, we're in opposite world.
And
But
then
here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
EA always does the right thing when the bad things are. That's the thing. Like EA always is in the comeback story space. Always.
It's true.
And
Yeah,
when everybody else is going down, EA's coming up, and it's vice versa always. It's like just EA can't seem to get on the same page as everybody else.
and then you have Capcom. Like Capcom is coming back from where it once was in the gutter, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, because they were actually, from what I heard, they were actually in fear of being bought.
Yeah,
Because
because
at one time they were actually pretty low and like struggling.
Oh, by Vivendi,
Yeah.
which is also a subsidiary of fucking the fuck's that company? That Chinese company that owns everything.
Tencent.
Huawei.
Tencent.
Team
yeah.
Tencent,
kill.
Yeah, Tencent is what's really killing the gaming.
Yeah.
The Chinese company, they should never have partnered with with China, especially one that, because everybody knows anybody who runs with China, they run right with the Chinese government. I mean, it's not like they're running
They
with the
have
company.
to. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a forced thing. It
is required by Chinese law that any company not operating in I don't know how it is for other companies
I think it's
operating
any Chinese
in China.
company.
But any Chinese company for sure has to report any information the government wants to the government.
Yeah, with just with no problems at all. You just have to hand it over.
So, and this is the Huawei thing. It's like they built a back door because the Chinese government told them to, and now they have to give every piece of information the government asks for at any time. And so it's like, well, that's everything. That's literally any data on anybody's device anywhere in the world that's using it.
Information.
Yeah. So it's like,
whoever they're talking to.
how is this not spying on everybody? But
yeah, but for some reason we're just like, I guess capital, like the hardcore laissez-faire capitalist want it so badly because they're just like money.
yeah, that's
But it's like
who was
like,
I
don't sell the
just
country out
watching?
for money, man.
Oh,
But, like-
Joe Rogan has an interview up. That's one of his latest with this chick. I can't remember her name, but she was from Singapore, and she was discussing a lot about the U.S. companies operating in China and stuff like that, and all of the effects that that is having on our. I mean, it's obviously happening with games, but it's also happening with Hollywood. There's a lot of stuff that gets censored
Everything.
or pulled from movies or whatever. Yeah, like all this stuff, and it's all because these companies they want in the Chinese market so bad they're willing to do almost anything. I mean, look at the NBA,
Well, yeah,
man.
Remember that joke?
They make 3 times the amount of money just launching in China as what they do the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and to
And
do
did you
that,
hear
they
that
will do
there was
anything
a-
to appease the Chinese government.
Yeah, there was a new kids one made by Disney and Pixar, I think. And on one of the walls was a picture of like the Chinese, it had a picture of China, but also the sea around it, and it had the 5 stars on the I guess the claim that China has made to the sea. To basically represent that China owns that part of the sea. Like they were actually fought like whatever that word, propagandizing.
Yep.
The movie with Chinese crab, just so that way they can launch and then I mean, used to they would make a separate movie.
Right.
Or
edit
version,
it,
but
a separate cut. Yeah.
But now they're making it just to where we are suffering from the Chinese censorship.
Well, this is
You
the
sound
thing.
like-
It's
remember what
cheaper
happened
that
with,
way. It's hard to make two versions. Like that costs money.
yeah.
So obviously it's easier to make one version, and if you're going to make one version, you have to make it to the whatever rules are more censorious than the other rules, and that's the Chinese rules. And so we lose out, and our content gets censored because they want to get that Chinese dollar, and it's a shame, and I don't like it.
I wish that. I mean. I wish more and more U.S. companies would act, or somehow. I mean, I'm not even for regulations, but I think that somehow
I'm all for
something's going to have
regulation
to.
on this one.
Well, something's going to have to come down. Well, I mean, the reason why I'm against regulation is because once they impact one, it's like downhill from there as far as.
No, but I get that. But we're in a Cold War of China, so.
We're definitely in an informational war.
Yeah, I don't know about Cold War, because they're not overtly aggressive to us, and it's not like they would attack anything. Like Russia might have attacked us, but I don't think China has any. But like maybe an economic Cold War is a better description.
Yeah,
I would say it's more like that. If you're going to call it a Cold War, it'd be more of an economic.
Yeah, because I mean it is kind of like a Cold War. It's just not at all with weapons, because China knows we'd fucking wreck them.
No Korea 2.0 war. No, that's why I'm all for regulation when it comes to this stuff. Like I know you can say, I'm maybe whatever you want to call it. I don't care. China's a threat. I consider them more of a threat than I don't know whatever we're doing in the Middle East nowadays.
The Middle East isn't so much of a threat anymore. Iran to a degree, but they're not really a threat to. I mean, they might do something, but they know for a fact if we ever actually retaliated, they'd be gone.
Right.
So I mean, I don't think they actually want a war with us any more than Iraq did. So I don't think that the Middle East is so much of a, because we got rid of ISIS for the most part. So I think that we're pretty much good with the Middle East, and Russia's not a threat at all. I still don't know why people still say that Russia's our greatest threat. I don't know how the hell they can think that.
I mean, we have China.
Doing what China's doing.
Yeah, but a lot of these companies, because here's the thing, there's a sad truth that there's a little theory craft I have here, where a lot of these big company business guys or some people in the Senate wouldn't mind if the U.S. became second in the world and China became the world power, you want to call it. But that's just a little theory talking, of course. But it's just to me, there's so much economic.
Blue. You and your crazy conspiracy theories.
I don't think that. I mean, I think there's probably some Democratic senators, the far left ones, that would not mind that to happen.
I mean, because there's a lot of.
I think for the most part, all the moderates and the right want us to be the superior power.
Maybe, I would say maybe for sure there, but there's a lot of because you guys know who the streamer Destiny is, right? Not the game.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Oh god, yeah, I hate him.
Talks.
But, yeah.
He openly admits how a lot of progressives that he talks to are closeted China supporters. And it's at least he's honest.
If you look at it, the far leftists are about censorship.
Yeah, and I mean China's there.
And China's right up their alley with that. And what's crazy is dude, if you go out and say Islam's bad, Muhammad is gay or whatever.
I mean, China, they kind of solve that problem. They lock them on gulags.
Well, yeah, but you'll have these far leftists, attack you, but then they support China where they're actually locking up and killing Muslims just for being Muslim. So that's the crazy thing is you're really supporting the government that's actually killing the people you are saying are oppressed, but yet
because they'd probably do the same.
Yeah, simply because we say Islam is bad, somehow we're the bad guys.
Because it's a difference of thing. Because it's America, and America, evil, racist, blah 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 country, and it's China, so it's okay.
We're not really a country because we were colonized. Yeah.
It's all that versus China, where they'll just be honest about it and be like, yeah, I mean it's fine that they put them in. What do they call? They call them the Uyghurs, and they put them in whatever those camps are called.
Yeah, the re-education camps.
Yeah, but here's the thing, they kind of support the idea of re-education camps.
Oh yeah, didn't you see the Bernie supporters on there talking about
gulags?
gulags and re-education camps.
Right. Don't worry, guys. They're totally not communists.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. No
life
way.
has a fucked up sense of humor. That's all I gotta say. That.
Have you guys come across people that claim to be socialist Democrats and they say that that's the most democratic way of living? Like they say that's the most free way you could live is being a
Oh, yeah.
democratic socialist. Like I've got like a few of them on my Facebook. And I'm just like, bro, what drugs are you on? Like I need to know.
Right?
I came
Give
across
me your
them on
connect,
Twitter, and
man.
I
Keep
I'm
talking
trying
about
my
how
best.
great Canada is, but they don't want to live here. What the fuck you guys want?
I can't seem to put 2 and 2 together to figure out how they come to get that.
Right?
My favorite part is when they keep talking about Canada, but yet they never want to live here.
Ah.
Like
Like
Canada,
here's-
man, is borderline democratic socialism.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Canada's having its problems right now.
And
And
by
also-
a cunt hair's width too. Like they are right fucking there.
Oh, and also, none of these people want to live here because it's like their policies, because they have a catch-22 with their policies. Like, they want all this free shit, or we want to call it, but they want open immigration. But it's like, yeah, I think you've never actually tried to immigrate into Canada, or even a lot of these Norwegian countries. So,
Yeah, because Canada
it's a
has stricter.
catch-22.
Canada has stricter immigration laws than the
I mean,
U.S.
because we
does.
ask more than you guys. Like, and also in Canada, if like for some reason there was a Mexican who snuck across the border into Canada, we just send them back. But it's okay if we do it.
Well,
I'm
apparently
sorry,
everybody's
America.
allowed to except the U.S. and fucking Europe.
Yeah. I mean, it's clown world.
And that's another thing. Like, what's up with Europe, dude? Like, Europe's like, oh, we have open borders. I'm like, yeah, and you guys have some of the highest death rates due to terrorist attacks in almost all of your main countries. Like, why are you guys using this whole like borderless thing as a? I don't know, dude. It's weird.
I mean, the UK left. The UK was like, yo, fuck that. Because, like, anything bad that's ever happened in Europe, the British have always been like, yeah, we're good. And we just left. Like, that's always been the British in history. Anytime Europe's been doing a bad thing, Nazism, communism, the British are like, I don't think so. And they just leave it.
I mean, Hong Kong was happier under British rule.
He's not wrong.
I do believe they have even literally asked Hong Kong to the Brits to take them back. So you know,
God.
I mean,
Well, but you know what? I think it would be a better time now for that to happen than it was back then because there was a lot of racism, dude. Like, like everybody wants to say and shit on America for being racist. Dude, the UK treated those people like shit because of their race. Treated them like slave labor. Paid them pretty much how America used to treat fucking Mexico, dude. It was bad.
Yeah, but now look at Hong Kong. It's before the whole Hong Kong Shabamo situation. Hong Kong was thriving, being one of the biggest economies. I said, was it one of the biggest economies in the world, Hong Kong? Or
oh yeah,
What?
definitely for absolute sure.
especially for tech,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like big businesses going over to Hong Kong, tech investment. I mean, Hong Kong went from a British colony, or that was not doing so well, to being one of the biggest out there now. And now they're like, yeah, take us back, Britain, please. It's like, yo, America, just make us the 51st state.
Right? Hey, I'm down. The Hong Kong
Hey, dude,
protesters
I'm
are G, dude.
100%,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Like,
They
yo,
are They are boogaloo motherfuckers, man, stealing bows and arrows out of the university archery team and using it against the government, dude. Fucking A, man. That's some don't tread on me shit, dude.
Oh,
yeah, just give them
definitely.
rifles, and they'll be good. Just hand them rifles, like, yes, please. We're
Just
upgrading now.
airdrop in some AR-15s, man. Fucking do it.
Have them, like, sponsored by the NRA.
Right?
Just, like, rub it in a little bit of the salts.
Ugh.
Man,
dude, that would be every democratic socialist nightmare, dog. Like,
just saw
Right.
Hong protesters.
they're
armed.
like, oh great, now we got more people to fight against freedoms. Like,
Did you see that there's a new person, I guess, running for office or for Senate or re-election or whatever? But her, she changed her logo, and it's a guillotine.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus, what?
Yeah, it's her symbol is a guillotine, and she said that it's supposed to symbolically talk about cutting the heads off of Republicans.
Yeah, only
Not
symbolically.
actually.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
swear it's not real. Who would ever
Yeah,
think it
and
would
she
be
was-
real?
And she's a democratic socialist, so yeah, I mean, after hearing about what Bernie supporters are like, I'm thinking, yeah, you're probably talking about for real.
You're
It's
another
not-
psychopath, Jesus.
It's not like what was her name? That red-haired cunt who's just not funny at all. But she held up the severed head of Trump It's like, no, it's not like they've done shit like that constantly.
Yeah.
Called for the death
not
of
at
Trump
all.
supporters on Twitter, beating the shit out of people wearing MAGA hats. Like, none of this is real. Come on.
What are you talking about? This is all fantasy, Pete.
Fake news, man. That's
Yeah,
all
they're
just
just- I mean,
Republican lies.
Yep, that's Russian talking point.
It never happened, fellas. Remember that.
Rush Limbaugh
It's
just
fake
made all that
news.
shit up.
Hey, you know what's funny, dude? Is Rush Limbaugh. Dude, I used to think that guy was too goddamn extreme for my views, but he's been calling shit out. Like, he's been accurate lately, dude. Like, okay, you know what?
He's going out with a bang. Yes,
Maybe
he will.
he's got some fucking points, because before it was all hyped up trash. Now he's actually on point. I'm like, okay, maybe he has something to it, you know?
Yep. I mean, that's kind of crazy. And also, remember the whole thing where he was having like cancer and they were celebrating on Twitter. They're calling them like
yeah.
they're glad and happy. Like they're like, man, God is real or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit. By the way, keep in mind if Bernie Sanders died and some Republican guy tweeted on Twitter, thank God, Republicans would have to like go on the guillotine and like bend over and apologize. But like, you have like this shit on Twitter, it's like, man, fucking people are gross.
You are not wrong, sir. Yep, best timeline ever.
I mean, Clown
It's a
World.
crazy timeline, dude. It is a nutty timeline. I'm not gonna lie. It is. This is the Rambo. Would you have ever thought in a million years that crazy conspiracy theories would actually have weight?
No,
Man,
not at all.
Alex Jones.
Not at all, right? Like,
Yeah, that Alex Jones is the most correct news commentator in the whole of
It's
the
very
fucking
scary.
media, right? Like,
That's
come
a
on.
scary thought.
Next thing you know, they might actually be lizard people now. Fuck.
Telling you,
oh
man,
my
you don't
god,
know.
dude.
Jesus, at this point, I'll believe anything at this point. Christ.
After spending a day or so on Twitter, yeah, it doesn't take you long to start believing into a lot of things.
I mean, that's what's happening to me with Reddit right now. I'm slowly just getting ready to drop Reddit like a bag of, like I just.
I don't even know why you're on there, dude.
No,
Because I like it for all the anime fan art shit. And
well, here's the
think
thing, right?
about-
I think Sargon said it best about Reddit. He's like, it's a great aggregator, and it really is. Like, you know, if I'm trying to find news about video games to talk about for the show or whatever, like, you know, there's plenty of subreddits that, you know, are perfect for it. And I think that's the only reason that people are still going to it. But it is dying because of like the moderation.
And also doesn't help that a lot of these communities are kind of self-segregating at this point. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of ironic if you think about it, because now a lot of these communities have self-segregated to like, now it's like if you're on the right, you go to like the Donald and r/concert, all that, and if you're on the left, you go to like Politico and Circle Jerk something, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's all self-segregated on Reddit.
Well,
Which
the
you
problem
can
is
argue
you
it's
have to
good or
actually
bad.
find the Donald. Oh, it's bad,
Yeah.
definitely. There's no argument for it to be good because you're not ever exposed to an opposite point.
I mean, these people, to be fair, are kind of crazy on those Reddits. I know it's because it's
Just
like
slightly. Just a little bit.
Just
I
a
mean,
wee
they're
bit.
comparing Trump to Hitler, and I'm like, yeah, guys. I mean, nothing else happened.
We're gonna compare Trump to Hitler, but we're not gonna mention how it was a Democrat that came up with the idea to put illegal immigrants in camps and then blame the Republican Party for allowing it to happen.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean-
the strange part.
Like,
It's always-
I've learned that whatever they're accusing the Republicans of, they've done.
It's all projection.
bro,
Dude,
it
it
is
really is.
projection. It is.
It really is. It's page 1 out of Rules for Radicals, Saul Alinsky's playbook, man. And it's male feminists being the real rapists and creepers, you know, Democrat politicians being the real racists, all these inclusive people being the real like hateful bigots.
Carlos Maza, by the way, is
it's
like
no
correcting you too.
It's
It's insane, dude. Like I said, when we were kids and we heard about this shit on talk radio, right? Like Carl Likas
Oh,
was
yeah.
a huge California.
Rush Limbaugh, what a crazy
Yup.
guy
Huge.
he was.
You remember Carl Likas, right, Pete?
oh yeah, dude. I used to listen to him on the way back from school,
Same.
right
He
before he
was
got
like-
banned.
Yeah, he was the #1 talk radio host in the state of California.
Yep.
And he was along the lines of sort of like Rush Limbaugh, but he also looked into the Democratic stuff, and he was like he rode the line like kind of like how I do.
And he was kind of edgy too.
Yeah, he was kind of edgy.
Yeah.
And as soon as the dude started speaking truth to power about the shit that was going on in California, boom, his fucking show got pulled.
Yep.
Also, the thing about Carlos Maza, I think the best analogy for him is he went to a neighborhood, completely destroyed it, and then has to move into a neighborhood and then bitches about why is the neighborhood destroyed. I mean, that's him in a nutshell. It's like, Jesus, man.
And look at this. Look at all this like homeless advocacy that's coming out of nowhere all of a sudden, right? All the Democratic electives are talking about it. Even in California, they're talking about all these homeless people, poor homeless people. Yet anytime someone in the community comes up with a great idea to help these people, the Democrats are the first one to fucking tear it down, dude. I'm like, what? Poor homeless people? You just want to keep them on the street so you can always sit there and say, oh, we're going to help you. Just keep feeding them that line of bullshit of I'm going to help you and you just let them starve to death? Like, come the fuck on, dude.
They start saying, who are you to challenge their truth? Like, that's who they want to be. Like, no, that's half the time they don't even know they're homeless because they're so crazy. I mean, they just need help.
Yeah, well, Jordan Peterson goes into this about the whole deinstitutionalization of basically crazy people, and they started like what was the line?
It's like nobody bar crazy.
Well, this is the thing. It's like it was something. It was another postmodern argument of like, well, who are you to question their reality? So how can you like prove they're crazy or something like that? And it's just like, oh god, come on, guys. It's like, we get it. You've read some fucking Vonnegut and shit, but it's like some people are really crazy and they really need help because like they can't live on their own, and putting them out on the street is not going to be good for them.
I love the whole stop questioning their reality argument. Like all reality is a separate simulate. They're probably
everyone's reality or truth is just as valid as everybody else's. It's like not really.
No, reality
I would
is.
just say that reality and truth itself are more important than everybody else's own personal reality and truth.
And also, reality is going to exist rather if you want to acknowledge it or not. So there's
no matter what your reality is, there's actually a real reality.
Yeah. And you can't escape the rules. Like, yeah.
What was that episode of South Park where they were making fun of safe spaces? I forgot the episode, but that episode I think was probably some of those genius writing in television. Because it's such a perfect episode. Like, it is the perfect episode of television. And if you haven't watched it, I recommend everyone watch it because it's like it basically deconstructs all these people and it's so good. It's like they're hollowed out in an episode.
But y'all a bunch of crazies.
Yeah, man.
Democratic socialist is the way to go. If you don't believe that, you're not American.
It's kind of crazy that Alex Jones is rational now. It's like, man.
I wouldn't mind being a democratic socialist if I was the president.
I wouldn't mind it as well. Just give me the power.
If I had all the power, then yeah, of course I'd love to be a democratic socialist. I get everybody's money.
There you go.
Yeah, like Bernie flying first class,
You
several
guys,
vacation homes.
Don't you guys know, all right, that owning a house that's in the millions, owning a couple of houses in the millions,
A couple of lake houses, man. He's balling.
He's a
professionally useless person.
And what's funny is it's not even that much. It's not even that much, you guys. He's one of the most humblest people ever. I'm like, bruh, shut up.
So humble. He is about as humble as Trump is.
At least Trump admits being an asshole.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah,
I love that
But
shit.
I don't think being humble is something that's in Trump's holster, which is fine, but...
Yeah, that's okay. It's
the
actually
same-
not a
they're
bad
the same
thing for a
people.
president.
Yep, they're the same people, except Trump's he's about that life. He's like, yeah, I got a golf course. Yeah, I have some fucking cars. What of it? Like,
Humility and being humble is not in his arsenal, which, you know what, it works for him somehow.
yeah, it does. It does.
It should work for everybody because at least you know what he's thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, all of this is great. I mean, it's Clown World. I love the Clown
Clown
World.
decade, bro.
I think it's gonna be Clown Eternity. We're gonna run out of worlds, Pete.
I don't know, man. I keep saying there's a ludicrous limit, and we're gonna fucking hit it, bro. And the whole universe is just gonna wink the fuck out of existence. These cocksuckers, man.
It's gonna wink.
I'm telling you, if it's not that, then the Terminator's gonna show up on my lawn looking for Sarah Connor, man. I'm telling you, it's one of these things, dude. Something like this is bound to happen. You can't have this. You cannot have this much nonsense in one fucking universe and expect everything to go okay. Like, at some point, you gotta think, it's like, alright, if this shit's happening, like, what's gonna end up happening in a few decades or some shit? So, you know.
Terminators.
I'm telling you, man.
Reality sound like a Doctor Who episode, dog. I'm telling you.
Tell me the shit that's going on isn't more ludicrous than anything you've seen in a fucking... Bro! Hillary Clinton is more ridiculous than a goddamn villain from fucking than Dr. Evil, than fucking a satire parody villain from fucking a ludicrous ass
movie that's funny.
Yeah.
Also,
fuck.
All I'm saying is just I think I'm starting to. You know, like all those intellectuals, they believe the theory that reality is a simulation. I'm starting to believe that one. I'm like, yeah, man,
Right?
I'm starting to agree. Maybe reality is just a simulation.
Watch for Reaper teleporting.
Maybe we're all in one giant game of Civilization.
Dude.
I can tell you what, with AI increasing and them building robots, I really don't doubt that Terminator is going to happen.
Terminators, oh Jesus.
We're going to have to be like trying to take over Skynet.
We're gonna have to go.
I'm gonna have to fight Terminators because these assholes can't fucking keep their shit together, man.
Yep, and instead of Skynet, it's going to be Huawei.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
You can now teleport while jumping. Greatest shit ever.
Yeah, it's crazy shit.
Oh,
Fucking Huawei net. Jesus
Right?
Christ.
And we're gonna have like Sarah Connor, but then what's gonna be the Terminator Dark Fate of that timeline then?
When Tencent
why
gets an
you even
upgrade?
yeah, right. What are you even mentioning that?
When Tencent gets an update. But then it retcons the previous timeline.
Oh God.
I think that's gonna be reality. It's gonna be infinite retcons of timelines.
Oh Jesus Christ. Fucking in me now, bro. Like, Jesus.
I love the world. It's amazing. I mean, it's like what Joker said in the Joker. It's like life's a comedy.
Yep.
And speaking of which, Rambo, I gotta apologize to you real quick. Rambo?
For what?
Back in the day when you were talking about the whole transgender thing, I thought you were crazy when you were saying like how far it would go, but now you were right. And I apologize.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's a slippery slope.
It's
you
not
were
like
right.
we weren't warned about it.
Dog. They went full bore ahead down that ice slide.
Bro, that was a slippery cliff, dude. It didn't even take 5 years from when the transgender issue started to until they had fucking kid, like 6-year-old kids on puberty blockers, fucking an 8-year-old boy or whatever dancing at a strip club while fucking adults throw money at him. Fucking everything that conservatives warned about for fucking a decade, and
It
yeah,
happened in
all
less
at
than a
once,
decade,
man.
yeah.
Fucking ludicrous.
Well, I can tell you, I live in a conservative state, and my daughter came home with a permission slip for sex ed,
Oh yeah.
and it didn't say nothing bad on there, just like regular biology, and I signed it and sent it out. But then just a minute.
And since what?
And then what's it called? I went to
no.
my daughter. We told my daughter that if she starts hearing anything about transgender stuff, to let us know because we're gonna pull her. And sure enough, the very first thing they were talking about gender is not really it's a social construct, and they had them fill out a piece of paper of what pronouns they preferred to be called, and I was like, nope, done.
Oh, dude, there was a thing
If
about
you're not teaching biology, I'm out.
there was a thing about a kindergarten class where they were gonna be teaching, or maybe like first graders or second graders, where they were gonna teach them how to have anal sex, and it's just like, oh my god,
What?
Yes, sir. Yes. Not just how to put on a condom, not just how the way, birth control methods and how not to get pregnant and shit like that and STDs. No, like how to have anal sex, because that's so important for an 8-year-old to learn. Like, and it's like, Jesus, guys, like, you literally took the what the conservatives have been saying for the last 2 decades, the slippery slope, and used it as a goddamn. But you are so fucking close to pedophilia at that point. Like, how is that not grooming?
Well,
how is it not grooming?
They actually are now trying to, like, small portions of the alphabet community is trying to push pedophilia as a sexual preference.
Yeah, the P.
Oh yeah, how many you know what? I think it's Rambo shit that I saw that where like there were like actual senators that were trying to push fucking
yes.
What was it? It was pedophilia isn't. The fuck was he saying? Something about pedophilia shouldn't be a sin or it shouldn't be a problem or some shit, and he has it in his Twitter bio. And I think you posted the fucking screenshot on it actually, Rambo, and I fucking flipped out, bro. I was like, what, dude? Like, shoot that motherfucker between the eyes. Like, seriously, just take a gun and go, just call it donezo. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, it's headed that direction. This is the sad part is because they are like they're trying now to push like to sex ed, like not just sex ed, but like gay sex ed to kindergartners.
That's disgusting. That is disgusting, dude. And here we'll arrest. Not saying that what they did was good, but we'll arrest and prosecute people for pedophilia for having images on their computers when they themselves have never done it. Yep. Like, that's insane, dude. And how, like, you gotta wonder, like, where the fuck, dude? Like, isn't the federal government the ones that are usually heading up the anti-pedophilia laws and stuff? Like, where are they at when these senators are posting that shit on Twitter, dude? Like, they should be fucking investigated, like, immediately.
Well, they stay out of these state races.
Yeah, well, they have to run locally, man. Like, if you're on the state or even go for a senator or president, everything gets exposed.
Yeah. That's just, I don't know, dude. That's too much for me, dude. No. Like,
well, I don't want sex ed of any kind being taught to a kindergartner. Like,
no, hell no, dude.
Way too early.
No, and even the gender thing, it's like, fuck, man. There was the whole big thing about My Little Pony and how they were introducing a lesbian or gay couple to the show. And I got into it with some people on Twitter about this. I'm like, dude, you guys realize this is a children's show. Like, the only understanding they have of sex is mom and dad equals kids. That's it. And they have no idea about the mechanics. To them, it may as well be a fucking stork.
They don't even understand how really mom and dad created the kid. They just understand mom, dad, kids. That's all.
That's it. It's like, why would you throw anything more confusing than that into the mix? Like, there's no fucking point.
When I'm complaining about, like, Arthur and all them having the gay wedding, I don't even want them to have a straight wedding and a straight.
Yeah, why?
You don't need to sexualize kids.
Yeah, and it's like mom, dad, and kids. That's just because that's what they understand. They have 99.9% of people, they have a mom and they have a dad, and those mom and dad has kids, and then 99.999% of their friends, it's a mom, dad, and kids, and so they understand that as the family unit, and that's all they understand it as. It has no sexual connotations or anything like that, and it's like the only reason to have a gay couple in there is to sexualize it, because otherwise they would just be a pair of friends. Because the mom and dad aren't sexualized to kids.
Dude, whatever happened
to them when they see two guys together with a kid, they don't know anything about a gay couple or anything because they don't.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
Whatever happened just to teaching kids at an early age to accept one another, no matter what?
Yeah, or
whatever happened to that, dude? Bring that back.
There's a great fucking line. I don't know how much it applies to now because I hear Sesame Street's gotten pretty fucking woke. But there's a great line in Scrubs where they do an episode with they do their little themes, and the theme was like Sesame Street, and that the lesson at the end or something was like, I guess we could learn everything we need to know from Sesame Street. It's like, treat your friends nice, play well with others, and share or something like that. It's like, yeah, man, whatever happened to kid shows being about that, just teaching them the basics of how to interact with another human being. To where it's a stable and functional, relationship of whatever kind. Because
for
them, it's all friends and stuff. But
if you look at it though, the majority of people creating shows and stuff like that now are the millennials that grew up with parents that just basically gave them an electronic device as a babysitter.
Right.
So they never really got to know how social interactions work, and now they're trying to teach their own mental problems to other people, basically.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
It's crazy shit.
And you know, it's really transparent to me because all of this
Kids are more bratty?
No, it's all of this shit hinges on acceptance. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. If you are sure of your convictions, whatever they are, you don't care about the acceptance of others.
Well, there should never be forced acceptance.
No.
But even as a
principle.
principle, though, like if they really believed in their convictions, they wouldn't give a shit what other people thought of them. But they do. They are trying to change the way people actually think about them because they don't like that people think certain ways about them. And it's like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, one, you can't do that because you know, you try and get somebody to think the opposite of what they think with, you know, by just browbeating it to them, they're just going to think it harder. You know, and two, it's like
it's going to make it more extreme.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it's like, man, I learned this a long ass fucking time ago. It's like I'm never gonna make somebody like me. They're gonna like me or they aren't, and I should just not give a fuck which one it is because it's not gonna make any fucking difference. And so, like, I became sure of my convictions as a person because I knew I had plenty of friends, I had plenty of people who liked me. The people who don't like me, well, fuck them. Obviously, there's nothing extremely wrong with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any friends or fucking, you know, something like that. But,
also, not everyone's gonna like you, and
yeah,
it's just how the force
you know.
works.
So I don't have to try and fucking make people think that I'm a cool guy. It's like you either do or you don't, and fuck you whichever. I don't give a shit. You know, all these transgenders, like, oh, we must get acceptance. It's like, why? Be who you are. If you were so comfortable with it, and it was so okay and proper, then bye, babe. Then you wouldn't give a shit what I thought. You'd be,
you wouldn't even care. It would just be
Yeah.
a normal thing.
Yeah, you'd be fabulous you, and fuck me, whatever I think.
I mean, that's what happened with like the old gay movement from like back in the the 90s and shit. So I mean, that's how they were.
What's crazy though is if you look at they're like browbeating everybody into this whole submission thing, but everybody, like, nobody's forcing like heterosexuality down anybody or anything like that, and they want to talk about like gay people being oppressed, but you have like the front runner for the Democratic Party being an openly gay married man, and not a single time has that ever came up as a down point. But what they're saying is that it goes against their, like, with him succeeding, it goes against their oppression points. So they actually have been protesting him now, saying he's not the right kind of gay.
Of course
yeah, because
not.
he's a white, well-educated gay man, so that's why he's not the right kind.
They called him a white supremacist. I'm like going, dude, he's gay. Like he's just like you. He's literally just like you. Y'all are gay.
I mean, the thing about sorry, you randomly finished.
Well, they just don't realize that people, no matter, even if you are the same sexual orientation, you have different ways of thinking.
And with Pete Buttigieg, he's more like, the problem with his campaign is he only basically appeals to like these kind of woke people. That's the funny thing. They go against him, but he appeals to them mainly because of polls, because he's popular with white college educated people, basically. Pete Buttigieg. That's all his campaign has. So it's kind of ironic that they're going against him, you could say.
Well, I watched Tim Poolin, and he said that there was a gay activist group that was actually shouting down Pete Buttigieg, and there was other people in the crowd that weren't gay that were actually yelling back at them, calling them homophobic, and then they were yelling at. I was like going, it's almost like the Spider-Man meme. Like, you know, where they're pointing at each other because they're like going, all of y'all are gay, pointing at each other, calling each other homophobe. Like, what are you actually saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's a Spider-Man meme.
They actually made the living embodiment of the damn Spider-Man meme.
You're not wrong.
I mean, it's because when you have all activist groups that are they all kind of have one objective, but they're all so different from each other, so they're all gonna clash. All these activist groups.
Yeah, because
like they'll kill each other before they go after Trump. Like, that's the thing. They'll kill each other before they even go after Trump, because it's all purity and all that. So there's
Bro,
like
it's-
no,
it-
we
it-
don't get
it's like,
chump.
dude.
It's like how long till you guys hollow each other out, sirs?
Bro, it's just
Could
like the
you-
fucking that movement that what was it? The Black Lives Matter movement. Like, they literally fucking like were attacking each other, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just a matter of time before all this wokeness is killing itself. Because I mean, there's no rules to it.
So
You
what
can
we're
never
saying.
be woke enough.
So what
It's
we're
like
saying is they're like the coronavirus, Blue.
I mean, they might just burn. I mean, sure, be pessimistic about it, but they might just burn themselves out before the 2020 election even happens.
I
Feels
don't
like
know,
how long-
man.
I'm saying they might. I'm never saying they will, but it's like
Yeah,
they're
it's-
all turning against each other. The moderates are basically the Nazis of the Democratic Party now.
Oh
They
yeah,
have,
look
like
what
the
they
It's like it's the Bolsheviks versus. Never
what
mind.
they did to fucking Tulsi Gabbard, man. You know, she
I
was
mean,
the
she
only
did
fucking
not-
sane one in there. Oh shit, we lost Rambo.
His phone probably died.
Yeah, she was the only sane member of the Democratic Party on the docket for fucking presidential primary, and
There he is.
she got fucking railroaded, dude. Within like 2 weeks, dude. It didn't even take him like 2 weeks. She was
Yang
fucking out.
got kicked out as well.
You know.
Yeah, it's not going to take. Well, could you imagine what it's going to be like if Bernie gets the nomination whenever they do the debates with Trump? Because it's literally Antifa going to be standing
Antifa!
outside.
That's what I was
going
thinking of.
outside with standing outside with Trump supporters.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a very interesting civil unrest.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
dude.
the crazy part was, remember that story where two Antifa groups fought each other because they all thought they were enemies?
Yep. Oh
I mean,
my
that's
God.
what I kind of got hope there. It's like,
Or
man,
how
you guys,
about-
like,
Or how about Shiloh Bluff fucking punching one of his supporters thinking he was a troll?
oh, the You Love Divide Us meme? I think if I had to pick a meme of the decade, that is definitely a meme of the decade.
Not
I
wrong.
thought that was fantastic, bro. I was like, yo, like he literally decked that kid.
And there's been
Now
dozens
that kid's
of
like
those...
straight up like, fuck this movie.
I mean,
There's
that's
been-
the thing. Most of this is gonna burn itself out because identity politics only has, at the end, will always kill itself.
Well, yeah, it's a purity spiral. The problem is how fast is it going to happen, though? And It's-
It could be a slow or a quick death.
well,
My
so
bad,
far it's looking pretty slow. Like
I mean, yeah, because you already
it's
saw
ramped
this, like,
up. It's ramped up lately, but I don't even with that extra momentum. I certainly don't think it'll happen before the 2020 election.
definitely not. But it's like you saw, like how
Oh, no.
Tulsi,
No, not at all.
she wasn't Tulsi, quote unquote, wasn't brown enough. Yang wasn't a minority enough, which you're like, what? I mean, technically, if we're going by the world, Asians are not a minority, but let's just. But they weren't minority enough, and then like I think the only person who's kind of a minority in the primary is like Pete, and he's like a gay guy, and it's like, oh, okay, but they're all
Elizabeth
white, it's like,
Warren?
man.
Well, we got
Oh,
Pocahontas,
I-
man.
No, isn't she the only Asian candidate? I forgot. Elizabeth Warren.
Asian and Native American. Yeah, we got our diversity right there. And she's a woman, man. She's the trifecta. Now she needs to be as disabled and gay, and she'll have all the Pokemon cards.
No, but her
The
campaign's
thing
going
is, though, is
down.
if that happens, then quite honestly, I mean, there's nobody that actually can tell her anything. Like she is like the ultimate boss.
She's the final boss of Bloodborne. She's the moon.
She has to. I mean, well, yeah,
she's
she
the
would
moon
have to be,
presence.
according to
She's
their
the-
rules.
She's the moon presence, and you have to absorb all the umbilical cords of infants to get her to summon.
Oh god.
The best part is, but her campaign's going down, and she's trying to take Bernie with her, and it's like, man, talk about heady this.
If you're talking about Elizabeth Warren,
Yeah, she's trying to
Yeah.
take Bernie
Well, okay.
with her.
that's the whole reason Elizabeth Warren was running, is to take Bernie down, because the Democrats don't want the Democratic Socialists to take over the party.
Well, an out one.
So they're
We all
doing-
know they're all Democratic Socialists, but he's the only one
Oh,
that's
yeah.
practically admitted it.
He's the only one out in the open about it. Yeah. So I mean, but the thing is, though, is that she was playing pretend to be like a
Take all of
Bernie
his
type.
ideas. She
But
controlled me, all his ideas.
She was basically Hillary in. I mean, she was another Hillary. She was an establishment player, but she was just trying to take votes away from Bernie, but once she started doing saying like she was gonna have her transgendered kid, 9-year-old kid, pick her Secretary of Education,
God.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Hug
yeah,
that panda
you're
bear,
done.
Warren. Hug that panda bear.
Yeah, like you're done. Like I mean, her campaign just dropped after all the wokeness of crap that she did.
I mean, the best part was she released her Medicare plan, and then her campaign died like a dying star.
Yup. It's like, guys, look, my campaign's awesome. I'm getting all this backing, and then all of a sudden,
She finally releases her plans that she talks about, and then she just collapses like a dying star.
What's the same
What's
plan as
sad, though,
Bernie's,
is that-
basically?
What's sad though is that she, her campaign after New Hampshire is failing. Like I mean, it's basically done. But she
Yeah,
actually
dying
was
star.
on TV, actually being happy about taking a woman's last. She had $6 in the bank, and she donated $3 of that $6 to her campaign, and she was happy about that. I'm like, going, you should be ashamed of yourself taking the woman's last, half of her money in her bank account when she's that damn poor.
You should
Right.
give her.
Yeah,
What you should do, Warren? Can you talk about being Mother Teresa? Give her a 20 and say, "Go to McDonald's, lady." Jesus.
Yeah. But of course, they only want to take your money. They don't want you. They don't want to actually give away their money.
Yeah, they all want to. They say everyone should be Mother Teresa, but except them, of course.
Oh, of course.
Like Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk actor, talking about socialism is the way to go, and I'm like, well, how come
Good
you
shit.
didn't pay all the extras in the movies as much as you got paid? Like it seems like everybody should have made the same amount.
Yeah, what's
Rules
up
for
with
thee,
that?
but not for me.
Well, if they
Yeah,
didn't have double
exactly, yeah.
standards, they wouldn't have any standards at all.
Yep, I mean, like I said, if I was that wealthy, I wouldn't mind democratic socialism.
bro, that's a pretty good saying, Pete. Did you just come
You're
up
on-
with that?
you're in the
No,
in
dude,
crowd.
that's people have been saying that
Rules
for a
thee,
while.
but not for me. That's what you say to your parents. That's what you always used to say. Rules
I mean,
for
but
me, but
that's-
not for me.
That's the thing. That's their parents, and it's different. They're your parents, not the government. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying that's where like the saying was always talking about like you can have rules for me to follow, but you don't follow the same rules. Like the no cussing as a parent, but yet the parent cusses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that's. But then the same thing with the government or anybody in power. It's the government. Well, just like Obamacare. Obama passed
Yeah.
all the crap, but then all of a sudden the government was exempt.
Yep, all government or not. I don't know about all government employees, but certainly like the Congress.
All the Congress, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. Like,
Imagine
well,
that.
if it's so good, then why aren't you guys? Oh, damn it! Why aren't you guys clamoring to sign up for the same shit you're giving to your constituents? Like, what's up with that?
Yep.
But,
And I think Medicare. Well, you heard about Pete's Medicare for all who want it, right?
Wait, he has
Like,
another. He
it's-
popped into the plan.
Well, it's Medicare for all who want it. He was basically making it look like that he was going to offer a public option, but it's not an
How the fuck
option.
does that work?
Well, it's not
No,
an option.
actually-
Basically, you have to have insurance under his plan, whether it be private or Medicare for all. But if you don't, like just like Obamacare at the end of the year, like instead of you being taxed like $600 some dollars, you're actually taxed a full year's premiums. So at the end of
Damn.
the year, you would pay $7,000 to $8,000.
Whoa!
And they're like, but you could have used it, but I didn't want it. You said Medicare for all who want it. I don't want it.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not really all who want it. It's actually it's everybody who doesn't have insurance is going to be forced on it, either by choice or at the end of the year when you have to pay $8,000 for the previous year's premiums that you never used because you never even knew you had it.
And
Bro,
you'll see
my
this in
s-
Canada, by the way, where a lot of our private insurance, a lot of people with a lot of money and politicians don't use the private health care of Canada. They usually go all the way out to America. A lot of times. Cough,
Yeah.
cough, Justin Trudeau.
Same thing with Europe. Like so many Canadians, Europeans, I guess you could say Britons because they're not part of the EU anymore.
I mean, they are European,
Brexit
technically,
Day.
but
And a whole bunch of other people. They all come to the U.S. for they don't come for the simple shit. They come for the top level shit because we have the best, and it's because we have a more open, system than a lot of other countries. So, it's like, which system do you want? Do you want the system that is a little bit cheaper, maybe, or do you want one that's got the best care available to you, even if you have to pay a premium for it? Because it's the thing. It's like they don't want to pay a premium for the top level care. But I'm sorry, that's how you get the top level care. It's like the best surgeons in the world want to get paid a lot more than the shitty surgeons in the world. Like, How could you possibly justify anything other than that?
Pete, you want to get paid for your labor? Oh my god, you fucking monster. What are you, a
Like
capitalist?
fairly compensated for your own labor? Like, no, come on, that's just silly talk.
You should be happy that as a surgeon you'll be paid at the equivalent to some really bad surgeon. Because you already have a problem right now where a lot of these countries where there's a shortage of doctors, by the way. Like, that's happening, and it's like, we're like, oh, we're gonna have Medicare, but like, if there's not enough doctors, like, what's gonna happen here, guys?
Well, there's a Canadian YouTuber that I watch, that lawyer named Viva Frey, and he actually has private insurance, and he said he went to use the Medicare, and for like his kid not too long ago, and it was a 6-hour visit, like just waiting to be seen.
Bro,
And
like
he called his pediatrician, and his pediatrician was like, "Well, just use the private care." And he's like, "Well, I mean, if everybody's going to use private care, I mean, that's obviously there's a problem with the system.
Yeah,
if,
what's
you
the
know,
point?
It's a 6-hour wait."
Yep.
And he said there's a lot of people in Canada that have the money, but they'll come to the U.S. for care because we have the better care and cheaper care.
Yep.
I mean, because a lot of people, because these people just, a lot of people just don't understand like the system in America, or they're out and out communists where they would want to scrap our system and say our system's too free for private insurance.
He said though that in his province, he said that the national healthcare thing makes up 38% of the national budget, and he said that each province has to spend 38% of its budget on their healthcare. So he said that if you make a salary of $100,000, your tax rate is effectively 50 to 60%.
Yeah,
And that's not even counting the 15% sales tax. That's just the payroll taxes that come out of your check is 50 to 60%.
Yep.
I'm like, that's insane.
A lot of people don't understand.
I'm guessing maybe housing's cheaper there, to where like a $60,000 salary can get you a pretty nice house. Like,
I mean, housing is decent in Canada, but also in Canada it's quite a bit of requirements to come here, so that's why housing here is kind of cheap, if you know what I mean.
Why didn't y'all vote Justin Trudeau out?
I know, right? Why is he still in there, man?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the power he used to, but he still has power. That's the problem.
He runs a minority government right now, and those governments rarely get anything done, so everything's all good. It's a slow poison kill.
The thing is, though, is that right after Iran killed that plane with like 30-some Canadians,
Trudeau was like, they're okay.
Yeah, but he's actually seen visiting with like one of the PMs or something from Iran, and smiling and shaking his hand. After this, he invited him over to Canada.
I mean, yeah, the thing is, Trudeau, I kind of like this
Castro.
Yeah, I'm just like, dear God.
No, I kind of like this because Trudeau's gonna kill his own party this way. It's like he won't feel the collateral because he'll eat the fuck out after this.
Well, it's kind of like what's his name over there in the UK, Jeremy Corbyn. Like
Corbyn,
he reminds me of a Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, and Jeremy took down the Labour Party with him.
Yeah.
The Labour Party collapsed.
The Labour Party's no more, pretty much.
And that's gonna happen in Canada because, like, you can say like Trudeau is like a Jeremy Corbyn, except without the anti-Semitism.
Oh, let me give it a few more years. He might end up throwing that in there too.
You never know. Yeah, like Trudeau speech. All right, guys, listen. We gotta stop supporting those Israels because the Jews. And it's like, oh Jesus, Trudeau, stop. Like, I don't know, man. I give it time. Trudeau, his capability he's beyond extraordinary, I guess you can say. Also, Pete, I can't endorse you, so there is that.
Stupid. Oh my god, dude! Like, it's just insane to me to think that. Because, like, here's the thing, right? So, I tried to make this point.
Sorry, bro.
No, you're good. I tried to make this point about their insurance on Twitter a while back.
And they strawman you and don't understand it because they don't live in Canada? Yeah.
No, dude, willful ignorance, bro. Like, the dude, like, it's like one of the high-end Canada people that have, like, over 1 million fucking followers on Twitter, okay? He literally lied to my comment. Because I said, if your insurance is so great, then why is it that over thousands of people in your country are using private insurance?
Oh,
If
and the
it's
guy
so
made that.
good. He's
who's
like,
that
what are you
guy?
talking about? You don't have any idea what you're talking about. I'm like, what? There's literally documented evidence. There's literal statistical data on this shit, and you're telling me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, and there's the fact that he probably uses private insurance.
He probably does.
I mean, a solid like 90% chance. I would give it a solid 90. If he's making a decent amount of money, he's definitely on private insurance. Like, actually, I say just definitely. It's a certain.
Like serious. And the reason why I can't remember his name, this was like this has been months. This has been months ago. Because like I was watching, what it was is I was watching a what's that young Christian guy, Pete, you watch him too. With his dad. His dad's on there with him sometimes. Fuck. Louder with Crowder.
Oh, Dad.
I was watching. Yeah, he has his dad with him sometimes.
Oh.
So I was watching a Louder with Crowder, and they were doing the whole investigation of their healthcare system.
Right. Yeah, because he knows about it because he's from Canada.
Exactly. So he goes in there into the doctor's office, and it was like a fucking 4-hour wait for a broken arm. And I'm just like, come on, guys, really 4 hours? And he said there was like hardly anybody in there. And in the video, there was like maybe 2 people in the fucking facility. But yet, for some reason, he had to wait like 4 hours to even be seen. And the clerk even tells him, if you want faster service, I suggest you go through another facility that's on a private insurance. I was like, wow, dude. Like, motherfuckers over here are so ignorant about how this shit works, and they want it. They want it so badly they could fucking taste it.
Oh, and keep in mind, Canada doesn't have a big population. Keep that in mind as well.
Right. That's insane to me, dude.
Well,
I have like...
You think if
Rem, pick
Canada
your
has a
character,
smaller
bro.
population than us?
No, I said keep
Canada-
that in mind. Canada has a smaller population than the U.S. That's what I said.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's even worse though, because if
That's what he's
Canada
saying.
has
That's what he's
many
saying.
weights, yeah. Oh, that's what he's saying. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's even worse.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is like go to any doctor that's increased their Medicare patients and see what kind of quality of care you get.
Also,
You
by
get very little time because they're in and out because they have to create more people to come in order to make the amount of money they would have made with just normal, like 1 or 2 normal patients.
yeah, I mean, a lot of doctors are opting at Medicare in the U.S. By the way, there's a lot of doctors who opt at Obamacare.
Oh yeah.
It's a public
if you
option.
like your doctor, you can keep him. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm
Yeah,
remembers.
right.
Also, because I guess if the U.S. did get like a Medicare for all system, it'd probably look more like China's healthcare system, because China has like Medicare for all, whatever you want to call it, and they have like a bigger population, so it'd probably look more like China than like what they talk about in Canada.
Yeah,
and
but it's not like
you
China's
know,
system is any good.
yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
But you know what, though? Like, China's kind of fucking wonky, too. Sundays? Bro, if you get sick on a Chinese holiday or a Sunday,
fucked.
you are fucked, dog. Like, they will not, even if you're dying, dude, they're like, no, we're not helping you. Like, what?
They're like, we have over like 1 billion people in China. We can lose a couple of you fuckers. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause that's the crazy thing. In, like, China as a country is kind of crazy, because in China, like, I've heard like this story before, where like if let's say if like like they have that 2-parent policy or 2-kid policy.
I don't think they have it
Or
anymore.
No,
when
they
they
got rid of it.
They do have it. They just don't do you're allowed like I think like 1 girl, but they don't kill the other girl if you have it. They just tax you like at like 80%.
But they still kill like their female babies, by the way, because there was a documentary where they're showing China, if a mom and dad they have like a daughter, they go to a farm, like not a farm, but they go to like a market area, drop her in like some on a basket. If no one takes her, she dies from sunstroke. It's like, yeah, guys,
That's fucked up. That's really fucked up.
that's China for you.
How many people think that this coronavirus is actually man-made?
Oh, dude, I have no doubt.
I'm
Well, because they
50-50
built
on it.
they built a bioweapons lab that was supposed to be working on the world's most dangerous virus, biochemical, and in the actual that that town or whatever where the epicenter is where this bioweapons lab is. So I mean, you tell me that how everybody was afraid that there was going to be problems with it, and then all of a sudden that town's where the epicenter of this virus is? Because they've been eating this weird meat all their life.
Oh god damn.
Yeah, I mean they eat a lot of crazy shit in China. And they talk about Western food, like Western farming practices causing was it cow disease? What's it called or no?
Mad cow.
Mad cow, and they talk about like mad cow. And I'm like, yo, do you not know what shit happens in China from food poisoning? I mean, yeah, the coronavirus, maybe it's man-made, but it's like a chance to burn itself out. Like it's killing more people than it's infecting, and also it's contained in China, the coronavirus.
Yeah, I'm not really losing any sleep over the more Chinese people, having problems.
Well, I feel sorry for them, but it's like when your own government's against you, what are you really gonna do?
Yeah, but they support that because I mean they've all been brainwashed. Like you would literally to clean China up, you would actually have to re-educate people.
Yeah,
in China,
you're re-education camps.
Well, no, you would actually have to because they
are all
like
about
North Korea. They've been brainwashed.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't even. A lot of the younger ones don't even know about Tiananmen Square.
Right.
Like they've made it illegal. Like if you get caught talking about Tiananmen Square, they'll kill you. They've erased it from the history books. They've erased it from everything. There's like it never happened, and they've blocked it on the internet, so you can't look it up. So I mean, yeah. So you would have to re-educate them. Like there's no other way.
That's the philosophy. This is my truth taken to its logical conclusion. So yeah, it's just in China's a crazy. Like maybe whenever they become more capitalistic one day, but that day is very doubtful for me.
I don't know. I mean, depends on how greedy they get. Because the greedier they get, the more they have to decentralize. Because central planning doesn't work, which spreads more wealth into the hands of the people. Which
that's the
by
hope of a lot of U.S. senators is that they're going to become more capitalist.
Yeah, and I see it happening, but I could also see it going the other way. So, I mean, especially with what they're doing with the lockdown on the internet and the social credit system. Like that's that's some terrifying shit.
We have a social credit system, it's called Twitter.
The residents are like that, and they're like, "Oh, I mean, you talk about like the citizens of China, and they're like, "Oh, it's a great thing. I think it's a wonderful thing that that they're doing the social credit system." And I'm like, you can tell they're brainwashed.
Yeah, it's like watching a whipped dog praise its master.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, dude. You ever see a dog abuse? Remember that when a dog abuse on YouTube was a thing, and people would be posting fucking videos like that chick throwing puppies into the water and shit, and the mom dog was just sitting there fucking licking her and loving on her. That's China, dude. Like 100%, dude. Like, oh. And don't you dare speak up against it over there.
I mean, you kind of can't speak up because it's like the perfect system. I think we should end off soon, by the way, in the stream. But it's like kind of the perfect system for propaganda as a people. You got everyone believe one lie, one government. The government can't fail. The one nation state. This is the truth. The truth is what the government says. It's all that culminated.
Well, that's what the Democratic Socialists want to bring here. The only problem is that we've been a free country for far too long. They would have to actually, like the re-education camps we're talking about, they would have to try to do something round all the free thinkers up, because there's no way that this country would ever bow down to a leader.
Oh, just look at what happened to fucking Vermont, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that could have been the spark that started the second American Civil War, or Virginia, excuse me.
I thought it was about to.
Vermont.
I thought it was too.
Guns.
They were hoping for it, man. They really were.
The thing is, I think that a lot of Democratic senators there realized that what they were up against, what was going to happen, because they started voting down a lot of these bills that Governor Northam wanted.
Yeah,
so
Mr.
Blackface. I was actually very surprised. Yeah, I was actually very surprised. Or Klan hood, you never know. He never clarified which one he was.
Actually, I think here's my theory. He was the Klan hood, and the blackface person was Justin Trudeau. That was my theory.
That could very well be it.
That's my headcanon.
JC says, by the way, the Sonic movie has made 111 million in the box office. I'm assuming this is opening weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking A, man.
When Sonic becomes more popular than fucking Star Wars. What?
Right?
I mean, because Star Wars sucks now, and Sonic, and not I should say Sonic. Like Sonic's not like some great movie, like what people think a great movie is. It's like it's a fun action movie. That's all Sonic is, and that's you know what? That's okay. I don't need to watch Citizen Kane every movie. So also I've never watched Citizen Kane, so there is that.
Oh, you lucky bitch. Yep.
See, I have a hard time supporting the Sonic movie because of Jim Carrey.
Why? Jim Carrey's fucking great as the villain.
No, Jim Carrey's has TDS.
Oh.
What's TDS?
Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like, how do you separate the art from the artist?
It is very hard whenever you can follow the artist so closely on
but how
Twitter.
much?
It's so hard. That's the reason why I had to unfollow a lot of these developers.
How much does he believe it though? Because he was cracked. Because I remember watching the interviews where they got mad at him because he cracked a joke against the hot interviewer where he said like, "What's the one thing left on your list?" And he said, "You," to like the female interviewer, and woke Twitter went after him. So it's like how much that is.
That's the problem. Is a lot of these people are just like these. They're seeing the rise of internet celebrities. And where a lot of people can go get their information and stuff like that from elsewhere, and so they're trying to hang on to relevance. So they say some stupid shit to try to get back in the news. So I think that a lot of their Trump derangement syndrome is just to get in the news because they know that saying something against Trump puts you you get that Trump bump.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why when you tell like Jim Carrey is Trump deranged, I'm like, how much of that is quote unquote like he's like I don't know like Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, where she's like some
because of his career, because he's an older comedian, so I would think that he's trying to do everything to remain relevant right now, especially in the rise of so many other comedians.
And there's that like that's why I think, and now because it's not like you can't say anything, because nowadays you have to say something or it's treason. Because it's not like you can like
look at Taylor Swift. They forced her to come out and actually for the first time support something, you know?
Yeah, you know, right? Have you watched that documentary that she had?
I refuse to.
It's such a here's the thing, it's such a parody of a like if I had like a what's that one movie, Pop Star? You guys seen it or no? It's like it's just some great. It's a movie where they basically try to make this guy into a pop star, and he's kind of like he's like a parody of a pop star. That entire documentary is Taylor Swift. And it's like, oh my god. I was watching him like, dude, this has to be a parody. There's so much of this. So I'm like, please, this can't be real. It was, and he's like, I feel bad for a little bit because she has to support, and also it didn't help that she kind of was like sexually assaulted, too. So it's like I'm unempathetic towards Taylor Swift. But it's like, man, you're such a self-parody about like you being self-important about a pop star.
Well, in other self-important news, Anita Sarkeesian is trying to get rid of Joe Rogan. Apparently, he's extremely dangerous.
Good luck, Anita.
So,
biggest podcast on the planet. Good luck.
In case you have, in case you've wanted to hear what Anita's been up to, not like she's been saying much. But
somebody paid her for an interview, and she said that people
paid
who
her
watch
for an
Joe
interview,
Rogan,
Jesus.
Yeah, the people who watch Joe Rogan are going down a far right-wing rabbit hole.
Yep.
And that just proves that she's never actually watched a Joe Rogan podcast.
No, dude, he's a flaming fucking lefty on most things.
Yeah, he's almost a socialist.
Almost. He wants to vote for Bernie. He endorsed Bernie.
Exactly. And when I heard that, I was like, dear God, I disagree with him completely, but I respect the fact that he will actually talk to other people of the other side. He's not one of the crazies.
I mean, that's why everybody loves him. It's like, who cares what his politics are? He listens to everybody.
And he can accept the fact that his guy lost or whatever, and he just moves on. I mean, he's not like trying, like these other people are just trying to take on the president day in and day out because they lost, or trying to change the rules because they lost.
Right. Yeah.
So the thing is, Anita, somebody asked Anita if she would ever go on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I was like, no, because she's never going to go in an area where she can be challenged.
Yep.
She's not even relevant. Joe Rogan doesn't even know who she is.
Well, yeah, I doubt it, but I mean, the thing is, though, she'll never go. These people that hold these beliefs about people being deplatformed don't ever want to be challenged. They block all the dissenters because they never, as long as people, they don't want to see them engaging with somebody that has an opposite view, because then they're exposed. Their other followers are exposed to opposite views.
It's not necessarily opposite view. It's the idea of being challenged. But
it still is challenging. Well, the same thing is, like, you hear all the lefties will tell another lefty, never go to a Trump rally. You're not safe. You're not safe. You're not safe. And there was just an op-ed written by a 20-year-long Democrat, a far left Democrat, that decided to go to a Trump rally, and they actually were scared at first. And they actually said that once they got in there, they realized that, whenever she said I was a Democrat, all the people were like, well, good, I'm glad you came. Listen, they said she never experienced anything like that, even with the Obama campaign. It was just a bunch of people just like being proud to be an American and loving what America stands for. And
oh wow, being a nice person, imagine.
Well, yeah, but the crazy thing is, though, is that that's the far left people, and the people like Anita don't want anybody exposed to the opposite views, no matter, because as soon as she replies to somebody that has an opposite, that's challenging her, it puts that reply on her timeline. So all of her followers that think like her can actually see the reply with statistics and actual facts, and it damages her argument, it damages the cult. So they run their ship like a cult. They don't want anybody knowing what the other side has to say or think.
Yeah.
I mean, also, there's the fact that Anita, I think she's saying this because she's so desperate to become relevant, because she keeps talking about Gamergate 2.0, and it's like, yeah, guys, when's that happening?
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, everything relates back to Gamergate with her.
Yeah, she's constantly,
that was her moment.
Her and Brianna Wu.
Yep.
It was like, I was thinking to myself, is Gamergate like an ex-boyfriend that you can't get over? Anita, Jesus.
Well, it's like nobody even talks about Gamergate anymore. I mean, and
it's
besides
Brimstone,
besides them.
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I had my Overwatch fix for the day, or well, not the day. I'll probably play.
Yeah, we should get started for overtime, by the way.
Oh, we got one more thing though.
Sure.
Oh, Jesus! All right,
Oh, man.
go ahead.
So, a new what the fuck is the name of it? Let me see. I got the name of it right here. Oh shit, it's not there. There's a virtual anime cam girl that started on Chatterbait. And all of the ETHOTS are salty as fuck, man. These hoes are mad.
I think she's pulling in more viewers
on her first day.
On her first day and actually concurrent viewers.
Yep.
Than any of the other the most popular e-girls on there.
Yep.
So I mean, they're being beat out by a damn cartoon.
Yep, and they are fucking scared.
ETHOTS are getting replaced by waifus. Man, I never thought I'd be saying that.
Like, we actually do the work, and I'm like, no, you don't. Like,
what work?
Off.
Yeah,
you just jerk off. So I mean, come on.
The guy who made that ETHOT AI, or whatever you want to call it, he put more work into making that than
absolutely.
Amaranth accidentally saying the N-word on stream.
Yep. And it's definitely not. It's being ran by a person, multiple people probably.
Yes.
But the thing is that and because there's no way in hell that if they pre-programmed, phrases in there, there's no way that would work. It wouldn't be as popular.
Yeah, it's got to be live interaction.
So they are actually still working the same as the cam girls, but they're still, instead of staring at the woman having to degrade herself personally, she's able to use it through an avatar, which is actually helping. It's actually employing more women that way, because there's a lot of women that would probably do it, but they don't want to actually
be on camera.
Hurt their own self-image or their own self conscience or whatever. So I think it's actually a good thing for, I guess, that industry. And I think eventually it's all going to go to that.
They're all getting replaced by waifus.
Well, eventually you'll be able to create one that looks real. I mean, it won't even
Oh,
need to be
yeah.
an anime avatar. It'll be literally a real-looking person, except it's
Yep.
not a real person. It's just an avatar. I mean, they're
We're
already
creating
that shit's
Cat Girls
already
boys.
well, that shit's already going whole hog with like the VR chat and stuff like that. That shit's inevitable.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, and I guarantee you'll end up being able to use that chatterbait in VR as well too. I mean, especially those anime avatars or even the real life avatars when they come. But I mean, I just think that it's funny to me to see all the whores basically upset over a damn cartoon.
Hoes
It's
mad,
like,
bro. They are
yeah, hoes
seething.
are definitely mad.
Oh,
Lindsay's probably like, I need my dog to bang me on stream for people to notice me now. Fuck.
I've never been on chatterbait, and I've
haven't
heard of
either.
it back, way back in the day. I've heard of it. It was real popular with the kids, way back when. But when I saw it trending on Twitter, I was like, the fuck? I mean, who the hell's talking about chatterbait in 2020? And then I was like, oh dear God. I realized when I was reading through that thread, I was like, oh wow, you're really pissed off at a fucking cartoon.
It's like, yo, automation's not coming for the workers. It's coming for you too,
coming
ETHOTS.
for the
Yeah.
thoughts. Hey, no, and the real life hoes too, because we just had this similar thing happen, like what, a year and a half ago, where a sex doll brothel opened up in Europe, and the real
Yeah,
brothel got
yep.
pissed off and got the government to ban it because it was outdoing the real brothel.
Yep. Well, you don't have to put up with the bullshit.
Right?
You don't have to worry about STDs. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. I mean,
It's all automated.
Yeah, it's
you don't need to
crazy,
have a
but
conversation. You can just be like, "I'm in and I'm out. I'm good. Thank you."
I
mean,
wish
sure.
it would have been funny if Andrew Yang chimed in on that thread and would have been like, "I told you,
I told you automation's coming.
automation's coming for everybody."
We warned
Literally.
you, bitches. You didn't want to listen.
Should have joined the Yang gang.
It's whole. Oh, that's so funny. I'm kind of glad this is happening. It's like, man, you thoughts are getting exactly what you deserve, and I'm so happy about it.
I just wish it would come to like something like that, or something would take care of the ETHOTS on Twitch.
Oh, dude, the
Yeah.
logo got taken out soon.
That's probably coming though.
Oh, I
it's only-
imagine because
Yeah.
Twitch isn't going to pass up on all that money.
No, it's only a
No.
matter of time before somebody just instead of putting up a webcam of you, you just put up a webcam of a motion captured anime avatar of you, and then play games in the
Playing
background,
games.
and it's the same shit. Yeah,
Yeah, same thing, but make it a sexy avatar and you're good. I guarantee you'll draw a lot of viewers.
And we have positive because the actual good streamers, like not good, I shouldn't think good streamers, because the people who probably make that do work hard. The actual like people like Shroud will get even bigger, and then the people who are just really mediocre streamers but are somewhat popular because they're women. Sorry, that's reality. Will get taken out, and you know what? I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I am all for it.
It needs to go back to what it was intended for. It was, originally intended for gaming, and then all of a sudden the thoughts took over, and then I guess Twitch started catering to all the thoughts.
well, of course,
Yeah, and
that's gonna be. It's a bunch of horny teenage boys. Like,
Yep.
what more do you have to do than dangle tits in front
And
of
they're-
them?
Yeah, and they're making a portion of all that money that they're tipping with their mom and dad's credit card or their part-time job that they're making.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're like making all that money. So I understand Twitch's point on it, but I just wish that they would be a little bit more even-handed with the
Oh, for sure.
the bans.
The rules. Yeah.
Yeah, if they made the rules for everybody, then I think that I wouldn't have a problem with the ETHOTS because they would be governed under the exact same rules.
Yep.
But I guarantee you, they're making bank off of all those girls.
Oh, dude, ludicrous amounts. Yeah, it's I don't know, and it's kind of man, how do you? I get it, like the lonely guys, and there's a woman that will interact with them, even if it's for
Yeah,
money.
there's a lot of them out there. There are a lot of
You
lonely
know?
guys out there, man.
And
And if
that's
they want that, that's
I-
fine.
I hate that they're being manipulated, but at the same time, it's like fuck, man, I'm not gonna take that away from them.
No, it's
You
probably
know?
almost all about all the interaction they get
You know?
from the opposite sex, obviously.
Yeah, or not online. Yeah, it's
They probably have their Dungeons and Dragons days, but where they hang out with the other guys. But as far as opposite sex, alinity might be all that there is.
Jesus.
well, not coming soon. Coming soon, it'll be the cat-eared, you know,
Yeah.
potty anime chick, and whatever, dude. I don't care. Do your thing, bruh.
When I seen it though, I was like going. I mean, personally, I thought like if you're going to chatterbait, basically to masturbate, why would you go there to? I mean, wouldn't you want to see an actual real woman than an anime avatar? I don't know. It's just weird, but I mean, it's weird how it just took off and pissed all them off, man.
Different strokes for different folks, bro.
Like, it is. And apparently,
Yeah, but
there's
you
a
know,
lot of people-
sometimes.
there's a lot of people on chatterbait that wants anime.
I think at a certain point they're just being like, you know what, we're gonna take it. Oh, I have a perfect meme for this, by the way. I found something really funny. It's something to really add to this topic, so it's good in this aspect.
Well, speaking of masturbate,
Oh,
Brim, how did you like your game?
Oh yeah. So this asshole was like, "Yo, man, are you still on Steam? I got some games for you." I was like, "Sweet, yeah, dude, I'm there. I'm at work. You know, I don't know. I don't even think about it, right?" So he's all, "Here's the keys." I'm like, "Cool, man. Thank you so much." He doesn't say shit to me about it after saying thank you so much, right? I was like, "Yo, there's some fuckery afoot. I'm just not sure what's going on, right?"
I was just waiting for the reply.
So I come home. It's like 11:45, you know, whatever, and you know, pretty busy night. I almost forgot about it actually. And here comes 4 o'clock, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I almost forgot. Rambo hooked it up with some keys. I'm gonna go check this out. First fucking key I fucking unlock. Wanking simulator. I'm like, this fucking asshole.
Wait, it's on Steam? Hold up, I need to get my PayPal out, guys.
Right?
Second key I unlock. Drug dealer simulator. I'm like, this motherfucker, dude.
I thought the drug dealer one was perfect because we always joked around about you having the meth fields or whatever. So, but the wanking, I was like, the wanking one, I was like, oh man, that's like perfect to set him up with because he doesn't even know what the hell's coming, and then he'll type it in, but what the hell?
You say you didn't know what's coming, guys?
So wait, did you play it?
No.
Oh, come on, man! You got it.
This is something you play on stream, Brim.
I gotta know, like, do you use a joystick and a keyboard and mouse?
Retro, dude. Infinite Retro did the same shit to me. He gave me what was it? Masturbation with friends or some shit like that. And fucking, oh yeah, he got me the pregnant simulator when it first came out. I'm like, these fucking assholes.
We're gonna have a full party, guys.
How many simulators are they gonna put out, man? Pregnant simulator? Like, what the fuck is next? Fetus simulator? Like, come on.
Oh, that would suck. I wouldn't doubt somebody's making it though.
Well, what does pregnant simulator have? I'm like, what are you gonna do in this game?
I guess you gotta try to maybe the term. I don't know.
No, it's an abortion game where like you have to go in there and just drill in, like, dude. Oh, never mind.
No, that's the fetus simulator. You gotta dodge the coat hooks and shit.
Oh Jesus! By the way, I found what you were talking about. P. I put it in memes. Check it out.
What?
Look at it. The whole chat.
I can't, dude. I can't.
Brim, can you check it out?
I got the video up and shit.
Go look at memes.
All right.
But all right, we've been going for a little over 2 hours. That seems good for the main show. So we're probably gonna switch over to overtime. So thanks everybody for being here. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you in a little bit.
The age of woman's over.